Scrawny, how you feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. I'm incredibly excited to be able to cast this grand final, especially as it's Argentina versus Turkey, and I can only hope that we can do half the job of our colleagues. Of course, Jackie and Harold killed it, and we're going to be looking to do the same.
Alrighty, so the countdown begins. Map number 1 is upon us, and it is going to be Train again. Argentina facing off against Turkey. Like they said on stage, it's a David versus Goliath story. Turkey only dropping 1 map throughout the entire duration of this 4-day span. Argentina fighting from the back foot tooth and nail, and they managed to make it all the way to the grand final, to the main stage. They are ready to rock and roll, and I'm just hoping for a hell of a series here.
I'm absolutely sure that it'll be at the very least that. So it's going to be Argentina on the CT side. At the very least, they've got that bit of an advantage. It's going to be a smoke and a diffuse here for NBL with a frag on Straka, who's currently got it already primed. And that frag grenade's not going to be doing damage because the T side not yet pushing down. Turkey with 5 players up here in the brown halls.
Yeah, a lot of box hall control, and they're kind of showing their hand towards this inside bomb site, and rightfully so. But look at this positioning from Straka. They're just pushing straight down sidewalk, so they're getting a lot of well, forward progress for free, but it's going to be the bomb drop. Straka finds the first blood, but it's Xantares and Calyx to answer back. Tommy's going to be able to find the headshot. We're going blow for blow here. Calyx can't get it done, and Tutenhin is going to be able to find another one as well as Tommy. It's all down to Despain in a 1 versus 3, and he can't get back to the bomb site. Find cover, and he will go down. That's a 3K from Tommy and a defuse for Argentina. They pick up the CT side pistol.
I mean, what a start. Obviously, Tommy with a 3K already. He's been one of these players who's just been hitting so hard today amongst others on Argentina. So for them to pick up the pistol, obviously, this is a fantastic start. We are playing on DE Train, where the T side is definitely more difficult. So for there to already be the denier of the pistol round and then those 2 potential conversion points, this is a fantastic start for Argentina.
Now here's what's scary is when that series between France and Turkey went down, Turkey was able to anti-eco them like 3 or 4 times in that series, which is massive, getting that second round buy down. But because they get the bomb plan into this round, I don't think we'll see too much of an investment out of Turkey, and there you go, rightfully so. They're going to upgrade some pistols, but they're going to play it safe. No utility, no body armor, and they're going to be running pretty much into a grinder here. But look at this big investment from Argentina. They've got 4 rifles on the board. They've got an MP7 as well, and NBL is going to be locking it down. But Johnny Boy going to chime in on a frag with Major, and that is going to swing the momentum into Argentina's hands early in the round.
I mean, NBL, he's on that MP7, right? But he's got to be cautious as he's already at the bottom of the ladder, which if Turkey decide to fall a player down, could very well clear him out. And if that does give Turkey the equalized 4 versus 4 and a weapon, things could get a little pedantic. But it's going to be Xantares from the top. He, you know, rattles off a couple rounds, not making much of a contact. Still, everybody in the side of Argentina, they are perfect.
Yeah, very healthy as far as their HP count is concerned, and if they come back around towards ladder room, this might be NBL's chance to shine. He's going to be able to find that opener, and look at this flank coming around from Ivy. It's Johnny Boy for the backstab. They've pinched him in. That Molotov is going to flush him out in towards Olaf, and that's going to be Tutenhin to find one. NBL from the ladder room finds another, and Tutenhin finishes it off. That's going to be a 5-man stand for Argentina, and they're going to start building up that money. $1,200 made in that round from NBL.
Now, what's scary here, right, is that since Argentina don't lose any of these players, that cash flow is still looking fantastic. And the moment we can get an AWP into the hands of Johnny Boy, the entire side of Argentina just becomes so much more lethal. Of course, that's going to be happening in the near future, but once they need to lose these weapons, that's when they're going to rebuy. With 0 deaths, Argentina's still looking fantastic. Turkey going to be investing heavily as they did find that round 1 bomb plant. They've got their AKs, a bit of utility to work with, 2 smokes within the collection, but Argentina technically here not favored with the weapons.
Not favored with the weapons, but definitely heavy favored with the utility. But it's going to be Xantares coming out from Pop Dog. Manages to find 2 frags, Tutenhin and Tommy down, but Johnny Boy's going to be there for the refrag. He's looking for another one, and he's going to get it. So we're equalized back into a 3 versus 3. And look at this, coming out from ladder room. Straka's going to find one as Johnny Boy falls. Paz is going to be able to answer the call, finds 2. The MP7 going to be able to chip him down, and Paz on only 40 HP. They're going to play Ring Around the Rosie in the train yard. And both of them very, very low, but the long range does not, it's not an advantage for NBL in this situation. And Paz, he just needs to play patiently. That nade just a little bit off the mark. And now NBL, this is a good position for him to be in.
And what's scary with this situation as well is that Paz now has a bit of a read, and he has confirmation now that NBL's still on that train site. So NBL has to be cautious. All it's going to take is a single stray bullet to knock down the last remaining Argentinian. Meanwhile, Paz does have a bit more of a buffer. So NBL, he needs to connect more than just one shot, or he's got to make it a headshot, and he finds it. Turkey tried to come in with the early buy, but Argentina's got the response, and they're shut down.
And not only that, because they didn't upgrade any of those FAMASas or that MP7 going into that round, they're going to have buku bucks moving forward, so we should see the AWP from Johnny in the near future. I actually expect to see them go for another money farm buy, a couple of SMGs on the board, and there you go. There's going to be two of them, MP7 and MP9 in their hands. They're going to try to accrue as much money in this anti-eco round as humanly possible so that they can have an even bigger buy going into the next gun round. But 3-0 for Argentina, and they quell the early buy from Turkey.
It's the start they needed. It's certainly the start they wanted. As you mentioned, 2 SMGs still in this one, but nobody really taking too much of an initiative. We've got Straka down here towards the bottom of the ramp, so he is playing that closer contact, and if players start to cross, he can certainly start to mow them down. However, he needs to fall back if there are just too many players. And if he does fall back, you'll have Tommy to support him with that AK from within the train yard. Again, he's going to have this grenade primed in hand, so it's a nice little bit of a reaction to prepare for this push. But Xanteras, again, on the Deagle, just looking for an angle. It's really just Turkey taking this one slowly because they do still have Despe out within the trains.
Yeah, and Tutanen is pushed up all the way down Ivy right now, so if he just bides his time and they circle that bomb back around, he's going to have an advantageous positioning. But Despe, he's going to be the linchpin into this round. He's coming around towards Old Hell. See if he can do anything from this position. There is a player up in heaven, that's MBL. Is he going to spot him, though? Know exactly where he is, and there's a dink onto him. He's going to be down to 53. I think that was actually a TK. Because there's no way without having head armor that he's not going to die from that. And yeah, Paz actually hits him, and that gives his position away. And now Tutanen and NBL are going to be able to circle back around. Tommy getting in on the action as well, and it's going to be down to Calix in a 1 versus many. And Tutanen's going to take him down, so the SMG's doing the work into that. And Argentina are going to take a 4-0 lead.
I mean, it's just an anti-eco, but still the fact that they clear it out with 5 players, again, right? This just continues this ability for them to rebuy with ease. And again, that economy on the side of the CTs is going to be so difficult to clear out. If Turkey, once they find 1 round, they need to continue forward. So Argentina, they're not going to have an AWP into this one. Johnny Boy is going to be sticking with that M4A4. And of course, on the side of Turkey, we've got Despe with the op. So he's going to be looking for an angle into the A site, trying to find a pick, pluck a player out, and then of course from there, use the man advantage to execute in.
The big thing about this as well is if Argentina pick up this round, then they're going to be able to salvage the op off of Despe. Look at this positioning, and Straka is going to open up, falls back through the smoke. He's got a teammate to bail him out. That's Johnny Boy on the other side. He pulls out a nade, though, an untimely air, and Paz is going to capitalize, pounces on it, and we'll be able to rectify that man advantage back into a 4 versus 4.
Right now, Straka has to be incredibly cautious. He does have support from NBL from within the Z connector, but Despe's positioning down towards the bottom of Brown Halls. He has to be pushed back. That's an excellent usage of the incendiary grenade because, of course, he knew that there could have been a player already holding that angle, and this allows now for NBL to support from Zed and move in towards the site as well.
The boost play up in the box halls is going to put Despe up on top of Xanteras. He's peering down to the back red train. See if he can find anything, but nobody's so brazen to go up on top of it. So they are going to be looking to maybe re-infiltrate this B-bomb site. And Straka, well, he's just watching for that slope, and look at this positioning from Tutanen. He's coming around from the back lines.
Despe's aware of it, though. We did see that AWP just trained on their flank, but now it's going to be coming to the execution. Xanteras is going to be the first one to drop. Straka traded back by Paz, but it's Argentina with another 3 versus 2 here as Turkey to have control of the site. Despe to clear the back, but he's now the last man standing, and with only 25 points of health, it's going to be a difficult clutch. So Tommy clears him up with ease, and Argentina to the 5-0.
Are they going to be able to salvage the op, though? It fell next to the train, and they don't manage to pick that up, but with the money bonus starting to stack up, there's going to be decent economy now for the Turkish side. Whether or not they invest into this round is yet to be seen. Highly unlikely, though, with most of their players. Oh, actually, I stand corrected. They are going to go for the force buy into this one. So no SMGs on the board for Argentina, so they're playing this one properly. They're not going to go onto the risky buy and try to go for the money farm once again because they are starting to stack up the money. And you can see it's going to be a big buy down from Turkey. So if they drop this round, it could be a 6-0 score from Argentina. And they look like a completely renewed team on this map after getting beat down on it earlier today.
I mean, we've already talked about how prepared these teams are, especially their coach on the side of Argentina, Kamikaze. This guy is a monster. He's been up all night long preparing for this, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually particularly prepared. Calix, however, opens up that A site. 2 players down already. 210 still within the train yard, and Straka about to rotate downwards. Again, Argentina can certainly bounce back as 210 finds 2. Johnny finds 1 more. It's back to the 2 versus 2, and Turkey incredibly tagged. Calix out just past and he too drops as Johnny Boy clears things up once more. Of course, it's nobody else.
Unbelievable play, unbelievable recovery from Argentina. That was a 3 versus 5, and Turkey coming out a little bit stale in this matchup. I'm a little bit confused as to what's going on. Those were 2 back-to-back beautiful frags, but took a decent chunk of damage from that one. And these frags coming back around, Johnny Boy just biding his time over by the Ivy hallway, and he finds the right time to pounce. And we will see another force buy from Turkey. 6 rounds to the good for Argentina. And man, what a renewed look in this Ivy push. There's 3 players on top of the dumpster outside of main. They're not going to be able to spot him just yet, but if they drop off the top of the dumpster, they should be able to get a read on it. But the push is going to be coming back around. The smokes are landing outside, and the pressure is going to be on. And NBL is really the only one to defend this. They do have another player out there, but the goosh or the dink comes out. But the long spray fight, Tommy's going to capitalize, and Xantares hits the deck. The flank is coming in from TCON as well. They've got to be cognizant of this. Teutenheim is going to be behind them, and they've actually infiltrated the set hallway.
Exactly. Paz with very unorthodox positioning here. 210, however, he's going to be dropped by Despe. Tags the player in the engagement, so Despe only sitting on 17 points of health, but Paz's positioning still unknown. He could very well be the thorn in the side of Argentina. Tommy swapping to his secondary as Johnny clears it out, and it's Argentina with another round.
Stellar play from the Argentinians so far. And I mean, just to look at the scoreboard, 10 kills, 2 deaths for Tommy. You've got 6 kills, 2 deaths for Johnny. You've got 6 kills, 2 deaths for NBL, 9 and 3 for Teutonen, 4 and 4 for Straka. So the assists aplenty for him. And on the other side, Major, 0, 0, and 7. He's bringing up the GoldenEye. Yeah. Little James Bond action going on in the server right now, and that's very uncharacteristic because he was a big factor into the overpass win for him earlier today.
And I mean, speaking of uncharacteristic, there's still no AWP into the hands of Johnny. We've seen this player use just the P250 if it means getting that buy, and instead he's going to remain on the rifles, but I don't blame him because it's been nothing but success for Argentina, so if it's not broken, why fix it?
Exactly. Now look at this aggression coming out from the CT side. A couple of pop flashes go in towards that TCON, and that is going to flush out the terrorist side. A Molotov and a smoke as well. So expending that utility, pop flash comes back around the corner, but there is no pressure. It's Xantares outside of TCON on T-spawn side. Trying to find a little bit of a commotion over in that area. The Johnny Boy spam fight going down towards Ivy. Neither of them connecting on those shots. The only one taking any damage thus far is Xantares, but he's going to be walking right into this one. Teutonen right around the corner.
Xantares goes for the entry, but Teutonen finds the kill. Now, of course, there's damage dealt, but it's still the man advantage to Argentina, and Turkey now having to reel backwards into this. So they do have players over towards Ivy. They can certainly hit this A site from 2 different directions, but unfortunately for Turkey, there's still 3 defenders for Argentina within the site.
One of the big things, too, is they didn't actually see that second player that was pushed up into TCON, so they could have potentially left him there for a lurk play, but they're out through Ivy. Major's not going to check the angle fully, and Teutenen's going to double up on the round. He finds a second, drops the nade out towards the Ivy lane. There's nobody, well, there is actually one more person out there, but Johnny Boy manages to find one. Despe coming around the corner, but NBL pushing the smoke. Going to catch him out? No! Despe with the spin around and a third! It's all going to be down to just Despe now. He's got to ace it to win it as Straka does manage to find Calyx. 20 seconds left on the clock and a whole lot of work left into this round, but Despe with a couple of really nice shots.
And meanwhile, while he's finding these frags, it's Straka to go all the way around the back. Now Tommy takes a hit from the wall. He's still alive here, but has to be cautious. Position known. Despe already with 3. He needs the 1 versus 2 ace clutch right in this moment. Straka, however, spots him on the plant, and it's Argentina with another, yet to give up a single round.
Really nicely played there from the CTs. It came down to those really nice shots from Despe. Almost got the momentum back in his factor. Gets the tag up into heaven. But unfortunately for them, I mean, look at these shots from Despe. This was some beautiful work, but too little, too late. The spin around shot, the flick shot up here into heaven as well. You didn't necessarily get to catch, but 8-0 for Argentina. And we talked about how strong their CT sides are. Where was this earlier? Yeah, and a tactical pause coming out from Turkey. It was one of the things that Sponge, the former in-game leader for Renegades, used to say, that if they lost the string around 6 rounds or more, that they would always take a tactical pause just to shake off the nerves, shake off the frustration, and start fresh. So that's probably what we're seeing here. But again, I mean, look at that scoreboard. Just the amount of frags that are coming out here for the Turkish side. You've got 16 kills in 8 rounds, and you still have a player with a goose egg.
Yeah, which is scary, right? But, I mean, what's also scary is Johnny has now upgraded himself into this AWP.
For free.
For free, exactly. So again, we see this, the 0 investment, right? For him to be on that op now, anything Turkey are going to be preparing, if they discuss what has not been working for them in the previous 8 rounds, well, if any part of that doesn't consider Johnny with the AWP, this is already going to be a change in their defense. So this could definitely throw a spanner into the works. They need to be cautious of him, obviously, all the time. But he's not even at the top fragger currently. No. It's 210 and Tommy are leading the charge. Excellent stuff here from Argentina.
Yeah, I mean, you can't downplay this at all. 8 rounds in, and you've got all 5 players right close to 1 kill per round right now from the Argentinian side. Not to take anything away from Turkey, they've been cracking into these bomb sites. They just haven't been able to execute in the late game, and that's the biggest thing that's holding them back right now. So we'll see if they change up the pace. We'll see if they change up where they hit. They've already got a player down into Pop Dog. They've got a couple of players up in the Brown Hall. A nice movement from NBL. He's going to get himself self-boosted up on top of that Zed hallway ticket booth.
These Argentinian players have such great mechanics. Obviously, we see Johnny Boy on Cash, always self-boosting himself onto Shroud, and he closes the door simultaneously while he jumps. Just absolute style points, and again here, going to be replicated by the player boosting up NBL. So Tommy's still over here towards Ivy, keeping an eye out. Of course, Turkey does have a man in this direction, but the majority of their armada sitting over here towards the ladder room.
Yeah, Bomb's still outside of T-spawn, and Johnny's going to be solo on the inside train yard, and that's the biggest change about this, is Johnny's been playing over towards Ivy, but there's the opening pick, there's the second one as well. NBL and Straka going to be able to find the opening couple of picks, and that's the two heavy hitters from the Turkish lineup. Paz is going to be able to get a refrag now, so it is going to go into a 4 versus 3, but still a lot of work left into the round. He's going to be able to spot another player out, but Tootenham coming back around through Old Hell is going to be able to find that refrag, and that puts it into a very advantageous, well, Johnny Boy is going to make it even better for the Argentinian side. Kalix, your last man standing, coming down through Ivy, making a boatload of noise. The flashbang comes out. It's going to be off the mark. He's going to find one. Free firing around the corner, and Kalix is stuck.
I mean, at this point, Tommy looking to not take the initiative as of yet, but still Kalix able to find the kill and not in a tradable position. So Argentina, they've lost 2 players here. Now they have to take this moment seriously. 210 already tagged, 30 points of health. Johnny Boy still sitting on 100. The odds are Argentina should be able to trade this frag, but the clutch possibility is still here. Kalix just waiting. He's got 20 seconds left on the clock. The bomb is nowhere to be found. So Argentina, they simply have to stay alive, and Kalix is going to be looking to take their lives. He spots 210 on the cross. 10 seconds left. He's going to be chasing it, but while he chases him, Johnny Boy catches the back. He's got his teammates back as he leads the charge. Another op shot, another frag, and it's Argentina with another round.
And as much as we hype up the individual play of Argentina, one of the things that kind of has been an unsung hero for them is their team play.
Yes.
Coming into this, I mean, you've got, I mean, the player that carries the most notoriety behind them is obviously Johnny Boy. The crowd has been hyped about him the entire time. He's opping, he's in-game leading, he's leading and having all of that structure for his team. But these guys are firing on all cylinders. 9-0 over Turkey. This is a very uncharacteristic and unexpected scoreline going into this matchup, and this is massive for Argentina. If they can keep this up, that's the question. How long can they maintain this? Because, I mean, Johnny's got to be a robot, because I've never seen somebody go from crying to cheering to fragging to, you know, screaming his lungs out to crying again to back to fragging. It's just ridiculous. He's got to be a machine and sent down here to just punish Turkish players.
Jack of all trades, most certainly. Johnny Boy going to be expending a bit of frag grenades. That's going to be dealing 0 damage out towards Ivy. You can see Turkey just spreading themselves thinly all across the map. They have presence in all the potential places that Argentina could be pushing. So Argentina, they're just sitting. You can see them rotating their players around, reacting accordingly. 210 still within the train yard, but only 1 player towards that B site, which is perfectly fine at the moment because the bomb is just kind of indicative of the A site strike. Turkey still have a minute to play with, but again, because they only have these AK-47s, they can't find that one long-range pick into the site. Instead, they're going to start to push. 210 gets wind of the push. Despe finds the frag. However, it's Turkey sitting in the 5 versus 4. And now Zantera is going to be adding 1 more to the collection. 3 players standing for Argentina. All of them trying to reel back. And simultaneously, 3 sudden frags. It's all of a sudden an advantage out of nowhere here. But Major able to bring it back by at least still 1. 30 seconds on the clock as Straka knocks down another.
Yeah, and the bomb still hasn't been recovered outside of T-Con. And look at NBL's positioning. Luckily for Major, he circles back around in towards the T connector and is going to push in towards this outside train yard. The biggest part about this is they've got a player at back old bomb, pardon me, and that is going to give up the positioning. Now the flank can come out. 10 seconds left on the clock. The fake bomb plant does come out. No time. He's got to stick it. NBL. He's going to double up as well. 10-0 Argentina. And look at this. They're not even screaming their heads off yet. They're not even going nuts. They are focused.
They're here for business.
Super focused.
They're here to win by the looks of things. So Argentina 10-0, 2/3 of the way through this half, and already, again, the big old goose egg for Turkey. So not a single round given. Johnny, again, on this AWP, and there's no response as far as sniper rifles are concerned for Turkey. They've even got a Galil here on Kalix, so you can see, obviously, a stark limitation in their utility as well. If, of course, Major had been able to get that bomb plant as opposed to faking it, then that would have at least cushioned their purchase. But Johnny Boy once more taking the fight, and it's a 5 versus 4 again here.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to look at the scoreboard after this round is over just to see how the frag distribution is for the Argentinian side, because I'm pretty sure everybody is at like 9+ kills now. I don't think that there's been a round yet that a single player from Turkey has survived. They've all been fragged out every single time, and I want to look at how many bomb plants they've actually gotten, because I think it's only like 2 in 10 rounds, which is the craziest thing. I mean, the money bonus is stacked up, so they're going to be able to continue to apply pressure to Argentina. But for now, I mean, look at the dynamic opping of Johnny. He finds the second one. He gets the pick on inside from inner upper, rotates all the way back around to the outside train yard, and gets a pick on Pop Dog. That's ridiculous, the mobility of this man.
It's unreal.
And
Potentially a third.
Another one.
Again, now NBL chiming in with one. You can see Calix trying to simultaneously peek out with Despe, but again, it's just going to be Major down with the clutch. A 1 versus 5 is highly unlikely, and NBL sweeps out any chance he had.
Look at the frags on the Argentinian side. Everybody. We're 11 rounds in, and 4 out of the 5 players are on an average of 1 kill per round. Straka is the only one under that, and 11 deaths for every single player on Turkey.
Well, I mean, this was my concern coming into this one, right? We had
2 plants as well.
Exactly. As Soich had said on the desk, that Turkey, they're bleeding. France took a map off of them, and even that third map was so damn close, despite there only really being a large amount of frags from Kiyashima. Now, they're playing against an entire team firing on all cylinders, so this is a whole new beast to deal with, and clearly they can't for the time being. There's still 4 more rounds for Turkey to grab, but this could be it. As Major knocks down 1, and Major knocks down 2. He's created a space here for the A-site plant.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance into this round. It's going to come down to the 2 versus 5 retake situation now for Argentina. Best looking round from Turkey so far in this half. And it's coming on the back of that Major push with that Tech 9. And again, Despe's going to be able to chime in. This should be the first round on the board for Turkey. Tutenhen is going to fall back from this one. But the big thing is the reinvestment from Argentina is going to be absolutely fine. They've got the money for it. They've been stacking the chips up for a couple of rounds now. And Paz should be able to find it and will. So nobody's surviving from the Argentinian side. 5 rebuys necessary. And yeah, they've got plenty of money to move forward into this next round.
Now, what's
Johnny
great,
Boy should have the op as well.
Exactly. And what's great here for Turkey as well is they keep 4 players alive. So despite only winning 1 round this far into the half, it all comes down to how can they bounce back forward. Of course, this is train, and it's not too uncommon to see these CT sides be very lopsided. So again, we can see here 4 AK-47s, the Galil, plenty of grenades. Turkey, they have everything they could ask for, and Argentina, they're in the same boat.
Yeah, absolutely. Triple push, no, double push down through Ivy. Johnny's going to pop out the flash, and they're going to push behind this one, and they don't actually catch it out. Xanteris is going to find the opener. It's a fast push towards inside, and Straka's going to get caught. They're not actually accelerating behind this towards the inside train yard. They're going to revamp and go back down through Pop Dog. And look at this from NBL. He could be the one that throws the spanner in the works. Tommy's going to be able to rectify that frag. Major goes down. It's a 4-on-4 situation now, and Johnny Boy on the bomb site. Going to be looking for him to come out from Pop Dog. There's 28 HP left on Paz. He's going to be looking for anything that he can find, and look at Johnny getting even more aggressive. But Johnny Boy goes down, Tommy goes down as well. It's going to be another nice round here from the Turkish side. But like I said, NBL, he's the one. He could make the difference into this round. He's going to be able to swing out, drop the bomb carrier. At least he's going to be able to put Tutenhen in a situation where he can readjust.
Exactly. Still a minute to play with as well, right? So he has the opportunity to potentially find an isolated 1 versus 1, and for every player he kills, he just increases the chances of success. Despe is going to be having his op trained down towards that Ivy Hall. 210 slowly but surely has worked his way now next to the bomb site plant. He has a kit, so if need be, he can definitely stick the bomb, but having no utility means he's just going to have to rely on positioning and angling. Xantera is looking to be covering the player who's still next on top of the bomb. They're using these incendiaries as well now. Turkey just buying time off the nades, but now 210 coming out wide. He's spotted by Xanteras, and it's a consecutive round for Turkey, so they are still in this game.
Yeah, and I think that actually is going to force an eco round out from the Argentinian side. They didn't have a lot of money left after that buy down, especially going with that expensive op in hand for Johnny. So this is a key pivotal moment in the map for the Turkish side. They're looking to get a 4-round half out of this one, and they've got an opportunity at it right now. You can see they are going to go onto the save here, but we've also seen Argentina steal away some rounds with those CZ75s and the pistols in hand.
You're absolutely right. So, I mean, this time they don't have armor. It's going to be a little bit less likely, but still the lethality of those pistols within a certain distance. Of course, this is why they're congregating themselves in towards the upper brown hall, and if the timing works, they could very well catch Major. Major could be seeing the 3 players boost. NBL is able to trade frag that back off the CZ, and now this leaves a player isolated. Paz, he's going to find both, so he quells the worry of Turkey as they knock down those 2 flankers. Johnny Boy now the only man standing. He's going to spot Xanteras, taking shots to the chest, however, as he's dropped down to 30 points of health. Again, all he has is this P250, and he too will fall. So Turkey find a 3rd, and they're showing up when it matters.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a 15-0 half, that would have been really, really scary for him. These were some nice shots from Paz. Just able to finally finish off those couple of players that were out and around that outside train yard, or inside train yard, pardon me, that pushed up aggressively towards the box halls. But 11-3, could be an 11-4 half, could be a 12-3 half. We'll have to see how it pans out here in a moment, but Argentina, they're still in this one. Obviously, they've got the heavy lead in Turkey, finding 3 rounds in a row now, breathing a little bit of wind into the sails. We'll see if they can capitalize. Despe on the AWP, Johnny Boy on the AWP. And this is one of the best op-on-op duels that we wanted to see throughout this entire series. And so far, it's Despe missing a relatively easy shot there on the Tuten.
Johnny's slowing that angle up towards Brown Hall, so he's all alone on towards this B site. The rest of the team for Argentina stacked around A. And again, with Despe opping into here, and they're not being an op looking to find an angle back into it, they have to be extremely cautious, because if they lose that player, it's going to be, of course, the eliciting move for Turkey's execution.
Slow play out of Turkey. They don't want to give up this round. They don't want to allow Argentina to find anything, and Despe will find Tutenhen finally over there by the backside of the 3 lane. And it's going to open up that outside train yard just a little bit. You can see how passively Johnny Boy is playing on inside with that AWP. He doesn't want to give up too much, but he also wants to be fast on the rotate if the time comes for him to go towards that outside train yard. So you can see the bomb starting to posture up. The nades are going to get thrown out here towards the outside yard, and we'll see if they decide to go ahead and hit that area or if they're going to hit back in towards the inside. And NBL trying to go for an information play, but he gets punished. So it's going to be a very difficult situation for Argentina as it is a 3 versus 5.
Alex speaking out of the corner. Tommy nearly finds the timing, and he will grab the frag, but Paz able to trade back, and now Johnny Boy chiming in with one of his own. It's only a 1-man advantage here for Turkey. All 3 players trying to push up into the A site. Major dropping the first, Paz drops the second. So Argentina with an 11-0 scoreline straight out the gates. Turkey bring it back by 4. That's a saving grace.
It's actually a little bit scary too, because Turkey is going to take a bit of momentum going into this second half pistol. It's going to be whether or not Argentina can win this pistol to just completely take that wind out of their sails moving forward. And a pistol round victory here for Argentina could net them up to 14 rounds before all is said and done if they can get through the anti-eco. So this is a great position for Argentina to be in. Turkey, with them getting those 4 rounds, does make it not fatal for them if they lose this pistol round, but it's going to be a mountain to climb for them moving forward. So into the second half we go. Pistols in hand. It's going to be Tutenhen with the utility for the T side, as it does look like they are favoring that bomb over towards Pop Dog ladder room and in towards the inside bomb site. And Major taking up Straka's position in that inside hallway. Just going to lob out that grenade if they do spot anybody coming around that corner.
Tuten's going to be playing the point. Of course, the bomb nearby as well, so that's going to be spotted here by Major. He disengages, doesn't use his utility, so he will be able to use that later in the round if need be. The smoke grenade going to be going down towards the B site. This elicits a rotation from Turkey. You can see one player already through the Z connector and a second nearby. Major repositioning himself to the back of the site. Tuten going to be going for the verticality here. Now, he spots at least one, and there should be a second close. You can very well be aware of this, but looking to disengage. The bomb now, it's not even really over here towards the B site.
Yeah, Despe actually drawing first blood. Calyx is going to go blow for blow with 2 players down on Ivy. He's going to be able to find one. Can he get the second one out of this one? He does get gooshed around the corner with the box down to 56, but Despe comes in and saves the day. Keeps him on his feet, keeps him standing, and now the bomb is going to have to rotate back in. The forward positioning here from Tutenhen is beneficial, but he is so very low, and we know how strong Xantares is with the pistols. Unfortunately, not able to connect, and they haven't gone for the plant yet. They need to get that bomb down.
Paz, he finds the one. That's Tuten up in the forward positioning. Now Johnny is not going to be able to find this plant because they'll just overwhelm him. Instead, he needs to at least grab a couple of frags. He's got 30 seconds to play with here, but Despe from the back lines with the USP is able to find the frag. And Despe really in that pistol round saves his team. Yeah. When that Ivy push is coming through, 2 players in, of course, the first man playing Ivy gets the first kill, but as he falls back to reload, there's still this pressure being applied, and the moment he rounds the corner, Despe clears it out. So Turkey with a 5th round, and a start same as Argentina.
Yeah, and due to the no bomb plan, again, we're going to see the second round force. The Desert Eagle for Tutenhen, Tech 9s for the rest, armor for everybody, and a Mag 7 for Major. So he's probably going to play a close position on, well, I thought for ladder room, but that has a good dink going out. Johnny Boy's going to be pretty much out of the picture for the remainder of this one. But look at this, coming around from ladder room, and it's Xantares and Calyx to get the spray down. 4 frags, you blink and you miss it, and it's down to Johnny Boy, who got dinked at the beginning of the round, 14 HP, trying to wheel and deal over here towards Ivy, but it's going to be a tall task.
Certainly, especially with 14 health, just not even to mention his arsenal here. So, I mean, best case scenario is he finds himself 1 frag, but Turkey going to be playing this one incredibly disciplined. They already have control of the bomb as well, so they don't have to be cautious about portions of the map that they're unaware of where he could be. And Johnny Boy not with really much to save here. I mean, a minute 10 as well. He walks on out, and it's Paz with the game read. He gets it, and that's going to be another one here for Turkey.
Yeah, so we'll see the full save come out from the Argentinian side here for their terrorist side half. And it should be Turkey picking up the 3 rounds to start this one off after they split pistols. An 11-0 scoreline. If Turkey comes back from this one, it is going to be a tremendous comeback, and that could be detrimental to Argentina's morale going forward. But this spray down from Xantares, what a beautiful piece of marksmanship from him. And, you know, we hype him up almost every single time, but rightfully so. He's an absolute animal when he's on the rifles. Even when he's got an AWP, we saw it on Overpass earlier today. But he's an absolute monster with that. Close quarters for Major with that Mag 7, still from the last round. Didn't upgrade anything. We'll be seeing what they can do. Close range with the ump. Going to tag team. Despe finds 1 and 2. And again, Turkey starting off strong into the round.
In Argentina playing with this vanilla buy, they have absolutely nothing to work with, not even a single flashbang to try to take the initiative. So they just spread themselves thinly to see what exactly Turkey throw their way. And of course, it is aggression. Paz going to be adding another one to the collection. Still, Despe with another. It's just 1 man left standing at the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, trying to get back up through the ladder. Going to get denied. Major going to make that $800 off of that shotgun. Going to take down Tutenhen. And a strong round from Turkey. They keep a lot of players alive. They farm a lot of cash money out of that Despe with 3 SMG kills. So moving forward into our first full gun round, potentially the up on both sides of the equation for both teams. Johnny should be able to pick that up, as well as Despe if they so desire. We'll see what kind of buy they have going forward here. And actually, it's not going to be an off. Johnny Boy is going to stick to the AK-47 for the sake of some utility, and Despe will be on the off. So look for him to be the game changer for the Turkish side.
When we saw the early victory for Argentina at the beginning of the half come out from that 5 rifle purchase, right? So there's nothing to say it won't happen here on the T side as well. And with the utility, they can set not only potentially 1 volley of nades into the site, but the fake as well. So Despe's going to have that up, and currently he is standing over here towards the top of the trains, using the verticality of this position to find that angle downwards. Argentina just, again, spread thin, holding, waiting, much like they did in the previous round, but this time they've got things to work with. Despe, though, knocks down 1. That's Johnny Boy out of the picture.
Yeah, big frag there for the Turkish side, but NBL in the meantime is able to get out to Olaf, so he's going to be looking for a little bit of a revenge frag moving forward. But Straka, slow peek, he gets his leg spotted. And there's another frag, Despe. I told you the game changer with that AWP on the CT side. Turkey definitely happy to have him. NBL out in front again, still over at Olaf, not pushing any, just biding his time, waiting for his teammates to get into a better position. The bomb is on his, or the bomb is actually over in the box halls in upper. They're going to be looking to maybe push that around and try to infiltrate one of these bomb sites, but now NBL shows his hand, maybe trying to provoke a rotate, and you can see it actually works. 1 through Z hallway. That is going to be Xanteris making his way around, but Paz drops him. That's the bomb down.
Despe's going to be about to spot these feet as well, but NBL actually grabs 1 frag, and 210 chimes in with a second, so we are back into the 2 versus 3 here. There's 25 seconds left on the clock. The bomb is down. This round should be unlikely for Argentina, but anything's certainly possible. Calic's going to be peeking wide as well. He spots NBL and damages him as Despe clears the frag. It's Xanteris to simultaneously take the second. So Turkey have managed to find their way back to the 11-8.
Yeah, 3-round difference right now. And the difference makers for the Turkish side is obviously Despe with the AWP, but Paz up there with 17 kills as well. Xanteris lagging behind a little bit here, but it's not that big of a deal as they are starting to string some rounds together. 3 rounds being the difference right now at 11-8 score line. And we'll have to see if Turkey can continue on. They're going to get a pretty much easy buy round here. It's going to be just some upgraded pistols. They do put armor on Tommy, some mobility with that Tech 9 as well, and see if they can do any damage. It looks like they might just aggress towards inside. That nade's going to come out around the corner. Does a little bit of damage on a Tootenhen. Not really a lot to speak of, and that pop flash is on point. He's going to drop out the Molotov. They could push behind that. Major is going to be able to roast one. Xanteris with the double spray down, and this round is basically done.
And they still got these double deeks. They're just going for a pick, but you're absolutely right, especially now as the bomb goes down. NBL is going to be pinned here as well, as they do have the line of sight in towards the ramp. Despe from the back line with the AWP. It's Turkey now within 2. Things are starting to get a little bit scary here for Argentina.
Yes, this is a 9-straight round run from Turkey. Remember, they won 4 in the last bit of that first half. And the funny thing is it was actually when Johnny picked up the AWP on the CT side that we started to see Turkey pick up rounds. But now we're going to see the big investment from Johnny Boy. He's going to have the AWP. So we're going to have that AWP on AWP battle right now between Despe and Johnny Boy. Who is going to come out on top? You can see, obviously, the hype is starting to build up between these 2 teams as this match gets closer and closer to a tie ball game.
That's exactly right. We saw Argentina feed off of that energy when the games got close. So now as we reach that situation, they need to just stay calm and compose. Major, though, who finds the first, he peeks out wide. He's going to be denied. Tommy able to grab the second frag, and now Xanteris is going to be rotating in. But because this is so quick, there's no player actually on the site. Johnny Boy's going to open it up. That's a second frag now, and the bomb's going to be planted. So Turkey, they're rotating in. 3 players still standing. Argentina in an excellent after plant situation. Straka still has this Molotov as well, so of course they can use that infamous molly down to deny any sort of a defuse. And Turkey as well also have utility, but no smoke in this case.
Yeah, Flashbang's playing right on the other side of the smoke is Tootenhen. They're going to start to push on up. The Molotovs come out. Tommy's going to be able to find another frag. He's looking for a second, not able to find it, but this positioning from Tootenhen, this is the clutch play. There's one. Not able to get the second one, but flank is going to be coming around. No, actually, they're both in the inside box halls. And nice shot from Johnny Boy. Knocks him down. The AWP makes the difference. And Argentina are going to find themselves on a 12th round, extending their lead back up by 1 more. But because some of those rounds for Turkey were so clean, the investment should come back out, and it will. This shot was sick.
Exactly. Just on the jumping player, right through the edge of the wall there, gets the read. He expects the push, and again, they had that Molotov as well, so they really didn't have to take an initiative, even if he did try to tap anything. So Again, Argentina, they find themselves around. 3-point lead here as Johnny's attempting to pick into the A site, and he finds the shot. That's the opening. Zanteres already out of the equation. 5 versus 4 for Argentina heading forward. Turkey's going to be looking for some sort of a response here. They need to equalize it now before Argentina can use this man advantage to properly execute into a site and really use it to their strength. But Despe's still inside of the A site. He's got this AWP. If he finds one shot here, it's going to be equalized back to the 4 versus 4.
Yeah, the patience on the Argentinian side, though, they didn't get overzealous behind that pick. They didn't want to give too much away too early on. They want to be able to keep that man advantage or at least trade positively going forward because they are starting to build up money. They did get that money bonus, so a loss here would be a hard reset for them, especially since they lost 3 players in the last round, so they need to keep that economic edge over Turkey. And another round win here for them could net Turkey onto a save round. The smokes are execute for the outside train yard. They throw them all out, but look at this creep coming on Ivy. 3 players over in this area. They're going to bomb a smoke down towards the bottom side. Molotov to follow. And they're going to start this push behind it. Molly is going to maybe cover them so that they can get into the smoke and get into the back lines of Old Bomb Train. But in the meantime, Tommy coming out through the T-Con, and they've also pushed out from Pop Dog, and Straka is going to find Calyx. That's a great opening pick, but on high, oh, what a ripper from MBL. Takes down Paz. Finally, Despe with the AWP pounces, but it's still a 2-man advantage, and the bomb is going to get planted. So now it's decision time, Turkey. Do you go for this, or do you save for the next round?
I mean, that's a huge question, but for the time being, they're just going to hold angles, and NBL, despite being seen there by Despe, finds the kill through the edge of the wall once more. Major also known his position and revealed, so at this point, Argentina can just fixate all of their attention to his last known position. Even if he rotates over here towards the B side, he's just looking to get away at this point. Yeah. Argentina looking to take away his gun. They've got, of course, NBL nearby in Zed, but keep your eyes on the radar as 210's coming in from the upper hallways. He's going to have to hit a really long-range shot, but Major just doing anything to survive here.
He should be able to get away from this situation. I mean, they are very close. They're going to hear that pop flash come out as well. So Tommy and Tootin coming around from both sides. They're going to spot him out. He's going to tuck away in the corner, and Tootin should go down, and he will. And they do take the gun away. So that is a small but great victory for the Argentinian side, and this was great from NBL. Just barely spots the shoulder jumping up. Despe never had a chance, and with only 18 HP or 14 HP in that situation, that is a crucial kill for him to get. 13-9 now. We're going to see a force buy out of the Turkish side. But if they drop this round, it's going to net Argentina a 14th, and they are going to be on a save afterwards. It's a double-up setup for the first time, and it's already working for him. Tommy goes down, fast aggression towards the outside train yard. Scrawny, they're just brawling right now.
Exactly, and Despe looking to re-peek. It's going to be Zanteres to add one more. 210 finding a response here, so it is still the 3 versus 4. Johnny on the op from the back lines, looking to apply some cover to his teammate, but 210 with an 8 in hand. Johnny finds the frag, but he does lose 210, right? So now it's a 2 versus 3. Straka also tagged in this engagement, has to be cautious. He'll drop, and the bomb as well hits the deck. Johnny to the top, he finds the op shot. Only 2 players left standing here. One on that UMP, but he misses the opportunity to bring it to the 1 versus 1. That one's so incredibly close, but a bit of a heartbreak.
Yeah, they gave him a chance into that one as well. Turkey peeking one at a time there at the very end of that round. It's definitely not the wisest decision when Johnny is on point and he has his favorite weapon to work with. We take a look at Johnny Boy himself. Just going to bask in it for a second, man. This is actually my first time and your first time casting in front of a major live audience in a stadium event like this. So I'm very, very ecstatic to be here, and I know you are as well. And this audience has been fantastic these past 2 days.
Serbia does not disappoint. Argentina on these upgraded pistols. Of course, Deagle's Tech 9s, this is not where they want to find themselves because it gives Turkey a very realistic opportunity to find themselves back into this game. Of course, looking to slowly but surely bring it back. 3 rounds make the difference at the time being. Bomb slowly working its way up towards these brown halls. Argentina, again, just playing this slowly.
Nova Terrace. Going to be playing close on that lower ramp inside with that Nova. See if you can do anything with that one. That's going to be a cash farm for him. They know that they're going to be on the save round with as close as some of those previous rounds have been. So Argentina, a little bit on the back foot right now. Could close in within 2 rounds again on the Turkish side. But remember, Argentina was able to answer back with 2 rounds in a row. All they need is 3, and caught out a little bit was Zanteres, but that's all right. That's $1,600 in 2 shots, not a big deal. NBL, though, does manage to catch out Calyx over by Ivy, so they're going to continue to push. And if they can force this rotate, well, never mind. I was going to say if they can force Major to rotate off of the site, they could potentially get the plant, which is the end goal there. With Paz cleaning up the 2 Ivy players in Straka and NBL, and we are within 2 again.
This is scary. That reset on the side of Argentina definitely hurts, and they know it.
This is a big round right here.
Absolutely.
This is a massive round. If you're ever going to cheer before, now's the time to cheer for both of these teams. This is one of the most crucial rounds in this map, as it is going to be Argentina on the big buy down as best that they can formulate. And we'll see whether or not they can come back and start winning some more rounds. But Turkey, they are doing a very solid job of closing the gap.
Yep, it's going to be Major now on that Nova, not Xantares, but already he is up in towards the brown halls with that smoke covering his presence at the time being. It's an A stack from Turkey, 4 players nearby, 3 dedicated actually to the site itself, and just Calyx trying to keep wind of what's going on over here towards Ivy. Now the smoke grenade is just going to keep Argentina at bay. They had 2 players over here initially, so they fight for the map control, and they're just going to leave Straka as an anchor, as now NBL rotates back to help out the bomb carrier.
Major's playing solo on the inside bomb site with a Nova right now, so that's not exactly optimal. Xantares is in the back lines now. He's rotated in towards the Z hallway, but he's going to go back towards outside. Pop shot rattles off. Despe not going to be able to connect, and we're going to start seeing them push and collapse towards this outside train yard. They've got 2 players down in Pop Dog, 2 players coming out through T-Con, and they are going to have to land some shots now. Now is where the pressure is on. Now is where they need to step up, and Xantares finds one. NBL's going to be able to trade back with Xantares with the second. Calyx finds Straka, and Despe in the outside yard manages one more. It's just Johnny Boy with a Tech 9. He is going to be able to get a parting gift onto Despe, but they will take him down. Turkey pull within 1.
I mean, it's a scary situation where it seems as though Turkey is just finding themselves round after round, just gobbling them up one after another, and now eventually they'll take the lead, supposedly, if they want to get themselves into the victory. However, we have to remember, Argentina have been in this situation so many times in the last 4 days. Literally almost every match. Throughout, of course, their group stage, 16-14, 16-13s, it's just been incredible, so never count them out of these
Quarterfinals,
things.
2 different overtime maps. Going into this final, they had a 16-14 victory. I mean, just back and forth throughout. They've come to brawl, and they've come to prove themselves, and they have done that in spades. But it's going to be Xantares, Paz, and Despe to shut down the outside push once again, and we will see a pause from the Argentinian side. They want to talk things over, and rightfully so. Now that Turkey is poised, well, they will be pulling even with them. 13 all, 26 rounds now behind us. Every time it seems that we cast an Argentinian match, it just goes the distance.
I mean, all their games do, so it's
ridiculous.
Of course, this pause. I mean, what is it exactly that they can be thinking about? I mean, Turkey's thrown the double op setup at them. They've definitely been finding success shutting them down on these A plays, and unfortunately for Argentina, there's actually been very few rounds where they find themselves in either a bomb plant situation or an advantageous position. Really, Turkey's just been kind of swarming them.
Yeah, one of the big things that I've actually noticed out of this is the couple of rounds that they got was actually 1 round towards that inside train yard. They were able to get that opening pick. They were able to swarm on that train yard, and they were able to get in there. That's one of the biggest things for me is they've got to realize that one of the players almost every single time is just spotting towards that inner lower ramp. So a smoke onto the sidewalk, a pop flash out, not necessarily even sending somebody through inner upper to try and disrupt the players coming around from the Z hallway. If you've got a set smoke strat or something like that to smoke the back train lanes on inside, you should be able to cordon off the area and at least get in, get a bomb plant, and try to push forward into that train yard to try and stop the rotation from coming back around. And that was something that Argentina did very, very well that 1 round that they were able to get into that inside train yard. So I would like to see them stay mobile. I would like to see them get into that inside yard and make it happen. But right now, I mean, Turkey, they're showing that they might have been down, but they are certainly not out. After an 11-0 start for Argentina, we are here. 27th round is upon us, 13-13 scoreline. Johnny Boy with an op, Despe with an op, and a full rifle buy to support.
And they're playing it right now with a 2-1-2. They've got 2 players pushed out towards Ivy for Argentina, 2 players just clearing out the brown hole. So looking for early aggression, but Despe finding an off angle from the top of the plant train. That's, of course, going to be netting not only Argentina a disadvantage, but it's Johnny Boy out of the equation here. So NBL also tagged at 30 points of health. He too damaged so far in these engagements. There's a minute and 20 still to play with here, so Argentina can take their time. They can look to re-engage from a different direction. As the bomb is still down towards T-spawn, they're eventually going to have to move anyways.
Right, and 2 players down there at Ivy. Nice shot from Straka, though. He takes the op out of the equation, and Despe has been wreaking havoc on them in that outside train yard. And with him being able to take him down, that's going to equalize things onto a 4 versus 4. 30 HP for NBL, 41 HP for Calyx. Everybody else very, very healthy into this round. So we will see once the execute starts to come out. They're starting to creep back to pick up that bomb. Where are they going to hit? If you're Argentina, I feel like inside might be the right call in this situation because they're going to have to go with a heavy play towards outside. And with them starting, I mean, you can start to see them creep You start to see them move. And Xanteris is kind of second-guessing right now. You can see him strafing back and forth in the Z hallway. He doesn't want to give anything up. And that's the smoke I was telling you about. That's a deep smoke into the train yard that's going to cordon off a large portion of that they're going to be able to push behind, but they also need that sidewalk smoke right there.
Exactly. Now, with the problem with this situation that Argentina, they use that utility, and it does kind of elicit this rotation from Xanteris. You had mentioned how he was debating as to whether or not he wanted to switch to the B site. He does choose to commit, but this could very well pan out as it pulls a player away from A. And now Paz, however, he's going to find one, and that's going to be the bomb down. Straka dropping frags. It's just no control here for Argentina. 210 still alive. Straka dying in the engagements. It's just a 1v3. And again, as we had mentioned, time being the factor, Turkey takes the lead.
Yeah, they waited so long on that execution that once they went for it, all they needed was the frag on the bomb carrier, and it was unrecoverable from that point out. So a little sloppy from Argentina trying to get into that outside train yard after getting the initial pick. And a big pick at that, taking down Despe, who is the top fragger. Xanteris right behind him now at 23 and Paz at 23. So we talked about who was going to step up. Xanteris and Despe were the analyst's choice. Major was the one that they were talking about the most, as he is the in-game leader for him. But right now it's Paz that's kind of joined the mix. It was Kalix earlier in the week, but it's going to be Paz this time around, and doing a sensational job at that as Turkey come up and find themselves on 14 rounds, and Argentina with a lackluster T side thus far.
I mean, that's been a story quite commonly throughout the weekend, right? They do find success always on their CT sides, or at least for the majority of those games, but again, so it makes sense here. There is very little utility for them to execute in. They've got that double flashbang and a smoke grenade to boot, but Turkey with the positioning and certainly the advantage. Despe with that op is so damn deadly, but Major's going to be now looking to reel back just ever so slightly. The flashbang does keep Argentina back, so that's a great usage of utility. Johnny Boy, Tech 9 off. Oh, there it is. Tommy finds the opening. NBL finds the second. Now they're going to be able to push the bomb. They get the device activated. Despe missing a shot as well, so it's a 5 versus 3 here. Johnny Boy still not able to acquire himself a primary, and Paz now taking down a frag, so one of the players out for Argentina, and another drops to the floor as Paz finds a 2K in the round. Now 210 still playing towards the bottom of the ramp. The other two players up within the back of the brown halls, but the smoke grenade pluming onto the bomb does mean, of course, that defuse is a threat. 210 going wide, though. He finds one. Kalix going to be returning it out, and Despe drops to Tommy. Last man standing was Kalix, but Tommy with a double. It's another round for Argentina, and they too are looking competitive. Nowhere are they out of this game.
They've looked competitive the entire time. It's just that they've had a little bit of a slow start to their T side, but a really nice round there. And like I said, the fast strategy, getting those opening picks, being able to find that. Really, really nice job from them, and they're going to be able to solidify their 14th round. We are now
Look at that muscles.
Look at that meathead down there.
Harold.
Yeah. Harold the meathead. Gotta love it. The 14-all is the scoreline. Double off setup comes out once again for Turkey. And a nice shot from Xanteris. He finds himself down into Pop Dog, and that is going to take down Johnny Boy. So a good start to the round for Turkey as they look to push up on 15 rounds, but Straka's actually going to pick up the open. We've seen him hit some shots in the past. Just looking for it. It's so close.
Such an incredibly tight angle, but I mean, Turkey does have this double up setup. Last time they had this, they found the success, and I mean, finding that 5 versus 4 is a great opening, but Despe missing the shot does just gift a small little window of opportunity to Argentina. Xanteris, however, chiming in with a kill of his own off that scoped weapon, does just leave 3 Argentinians left standing, and I mean, they're sent reeling backwards as they've lost control in all different sorts of directions. Turkey very much prepared to take a 15th round. They can just keep their players committed all around the site. Their defense really has no weakness because they have 2 players in the advantage.
Worst part about this situation, too, is that if Argentina drops this round, spots the toe. Knows that there's a player around there, Despe. Using the scope to his advantage. And there you go, takes down another one. Paz as well chimes in. They're keeping 5 players alive. No rebuys yet for the Turkish side. And like I said, this is worst case scenario for Argentina because with them losing that round, they have hardly any money to invest into the 30th round. But again, another map that goes the distance overall that Argentina is playing in. And Turkey, I mean, they had 2 back-to-back 16-14s that they played earlier, so they're no strangers to the grueling battle, the brawl that's going back and forth. And remember, Argentina in the quarterfinals played 2 overtime maps.
I mean, these very rapid B takes have actually been panning out for Argentina. So
yeah,
they've got a buy here that actually could favor this sort of a play with the armor, the Tech 9s, and the utility. They can put it into the back lanes, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but instead they just try to push the envelope straight out onto the A site. Despe with a boost over here towards Ivy. He's got an eye vision down the lane, but Xanteris smoke. It's only so limited of views. And Xanteris switching to the secondary, chiming in with another. Xanteris finds one, and it looks like Turkey take the round. A 16-14 again added to the record for Argentina. So close. and yet they tumble. But we have to remember, of course, that our analyst said on the desk, and I would agree with them, that obviously Train of all these maps, again, on the CT side, they've got an incendiary and a smoke grenade here on Major, and a smoke, and a smoke at a diffuse here on Despe. So interesting stuff with the incendiaries and the utility, but already it's going to be Argentina out on towards the B site. They never see Major sitting behind the barrels, but Straka's going to be able to find two. NBL as well. 2 players left standing here for the side of Turkey, and Calic's already incredibly tagged down in this engagement. NBL spotting the gun of the player, whipping around the corner. It is a 4 versus 2 after plant, but there are a lot of players in this situation who are already tagged, including the man who's currently sitting still on top of the bomb. NBL's positioning spotted. Zanteres with a frag, Calix with one, and Johnny Boy answers back. It's just Zanteres now, in Argentina with another great start and another pistol round.
Yeah, we'll see if they can maintain this time around, because this was the map that we saw Turkey able to pick up those anti-eco rounds in earlier in the day. So we'll see if they can replicate that, or if Argentina plays it smart, plays it slow, finds the picks, and wins these anti-eco rounds. We will be seeing that right here, right now. Nice little graphic transfer for... I'm not really sure what that was for, but nevertheless, 1-0, Argentina in the lead, and a big buy down. 2 SMGs on the board, but AKs for 3 out of the 5 players, and it is going to be a big buy down here from the Turkish side. Upgraded pistols and some armor to deal with as well. Paz already chipped down to 59. He got aggressive over there towards short, and he's going to get punished a little bit for it.
Still, we've got 2 players for Turkey here within the connector. 210 down on the other side, looking to use this AK-47 to his advantage at the range, but the Wandig from Zanteres, that's going to get the ball rolling. CT side with an opening frag. Now, fortunately here for Argentina, that AK has yet to be retrieved, but as I mentioned, Zanteres does take the peak, and unfortunately, even with a player on the top of the ladder, it's going to be ascertained. Turkey with a 5 versus 4 and an AK-47 on an already armored opponent.
Yeah, this is really scary. Zanteres is going to get chipped up, but they crush onto water, and they are going to be able to find those frags, taking down Tommy, but they answer back. Argentina able to find 3 kills, able to find a 4th kill, and it's all going to be down to Despe with the Desert Eagle, and he's dangerous with this gun, and 2 players incredibly low here for Argentina. They're going to be taking the peek out. NBL is going to get the verification on the positioning there from Despe, but he's already pushed out towards the short side of things. We'll see whether or not he can find these Wandigs. He has gotten a UMP as well, so things are going to get a little bit more interesting here as Turkey trying to answer the call.
Now, Despe does have 2 potential targets who are already incredibly tagged. Straka sitting at 46 and NBL at 26 respectively. So if he is able to isolate these fights, then very well he could find the kills. But what's really nice in this situation is Argentina capitalized on that situation where Turkey pushed all their players into the short water. And when they do so, we see Johnny Boy and the second player just whip straight out of Monster. They take site control because, of course, they're assuming that everyone had pushed, and justly so, they had. So a nice little bit to take the map. They go back, grab the bomb, find themselves the plant. It's a 3 versus 1 after plant. And Despe, he has something to save here, so that's exactly what he's going to be trying to do.
Yeah, and would be nice to carry that over along with the body armor. There is an AK lost somewhere on the map. Remember, they had 3 AKs on the Argentinian side. It'll be interesting. I mean, Johnny Boy's just running around right now. He's not actually going to find that AK, so he's going to stay on the MP7 for the money farm into the next round, which is actually pretty smart. Considering that they aren't going to have armor on 4 out of the 5 players. It's going to be a vanilla pistol round, but Argentina able to find 2 rounds in a row to start things off, kicking off overpass on the right foot.
Fortunately for Turkey, it's only going to be Despe really in a position here to have that weapon heading forward. Argentina, now that is a bit costly. At least they, and I mean, you said it, right? The AK is not all retrieved, so it's going to be a toss around. Going to be finding themselves a 3rd. Now 2 SMGs. This is great because Argentina are looking to make some cash flow going forward here with that MP7 Mac 10. Most certainly possible. Turkey going to be having a very heavy presence here towards Fountain. 4 players already started to push up, but they do start to trail themselves in through the bathrooms, through long as well. Zanteres with this deagle looking for another opening, but this time not as of yet. Calix taking a peek out from long A as well. So Argentina should have confirmation that there is an aggressive play from Turkey on 2 different fronts here.
Yeah, both a party peek and a peek from the bottom side. Zanteres still spamming away with that deagle, not able to make any connections just yet. Tommy has been taken down to 87 from the long A push as they went for the boost up towards playground, but now we're going to have a little bit of a stalemate. You've got Despe down in the underpass. He's got the UMP, he's got the body armor, he's got a smoke that he was able to salvage out of the last round and carry over into this round. We'll see if he can make a difference with that moving forward, but now we see a mass exodus. All of the CTs, they showed their hand at A, and I'm surprised that we didn't see an accelerated strat from Argentina towards B. Maybe they didn't spot nearly enough of the members. I think they spotted 3 of them, not necessarily 4 or 5, but Despe goes down. That's the UMP out of the hands of the CT side, and Straka is going to be able to find $300 from that AK frag.
I mean, it's a good thing actually for Argentina that they don't head towards that B site, because Turkey threed into this situation and rotate the majority of their players down towards here. So slowly but certainly, Argentina just encroaching their way up through the map. They've got some presence over towards long A, but it does seem as though they're pondering whether or not they want to split the B site. Of course, they do still have a bit of time if they want to try to peek over top of the wall, but they're not going to have this info. So this could actually turn abysmal for Argentina.
Yeah, lead in with those SMGs. Let them try to shred as much as they can going forward, but they're going to throw out the nades, and they're actually going back up through subway towards that A bomb site, and this is smart. That's going to keep them on the site. The nades are going to go out, and they're going to be able to find an open, wide open for the taking A bomb site. Smoke goes out, plant will go down as well. And a nice round here from Argentina. They're going to go for the money farm. Come around the corner, and there you go. Johnny Boy is going to be able to find an extra $600 for his troubles. 3 players left on the board here for Turkey. A UMP salvaged as well, and Xanteris always dangerous with that Desert Eagle, but again, not a lot of damage out onto the Argentinian side. And here we go. There's the money farm, and Straka actually steals one away. I thought Tutenhen was actually going to get both of those, but only one MAC-10 kill. Not a big deal, but Major with the UMP over there by Playground. Probably not going to get out of here alive.
At least he shouldn't be. Straka is up towards party, but Straka's going to be spotted. Major taking a bit of a shot towards him. He doesn't really capitalize on the situation, but Major tagged to 43. He's looking to reel backwards, and you can see everybody on the side of Argentina just collapsing down upon him. He is no way he's getting out of here alive. He will get the chance to at least take down one, but Argentina deny it on all counts. It's 5 players left standing here for the Argentinian side, heading forward into round number 4.
Yeah, and again, they're coming off on the right foot. They started 11-0. Remember that on Train on their CT side, and unfortunately crumbled under the pressure late in that matchup, losing 16-14. So they didn't have that strong of a terrorist side showing, to say the least. But now Argentina on the T side, able to get that first pistol round, able to get those anti-eco rounds and keep that momentum going. And if they can keep on with this, they could formulate a very strong terrorist side. And a very quick strategy right now is Tommy already in a forward position by Squeaky, and Paz is taking these leaps out. He does spot it.
Yep, and then he's going to throw down that smoke grenade so that they can't go into a rapid push into the B site. So this is going to be buying time for Turkey and allowing them to rotate players around. You can see they did have a player in towards the top of bathroom, but instead now he's joining forces out towards long A. This, of course, allows for Despe to rotate back, but it's Argentina to hit this site. Straka's found the first frag, and Paz down inside the water. Tommy drops him here. It's a 3 versus 5, and Turkey, they're starting to dwindle as far as numbers are concerned. The bomb now starting to be planted. Major in the middle of all this smoke. However, Argentina has to be cautious, but they found the plant, and they found the 5v3.
Yeah, really nice strategy there from the Argentinian side. Straka's going to be able to find one more, and we are going to be down into this 3-man advantage. The retake is still on. They're coming around from pit side. But Despe finally able to make something happen. Straka goes down. Johnny Boy is going to be the final one. Despe is going to be there. Johnny Boy doing a fantastic job, and Straka the only one to drop into that round. As Argentina pick up a 4th, and the first gun round goes their way. So they're starting off strong just like they did on Train.
I mean, yeah, that's a scary situation, right? They're starting off strong, but we've seen what's happened before, so Johnny Boy with a nice little, yeah, exactly, on the top of the boxes. Use that verticality, and he comes out wide for the second as well. Takes a lot of damage, but still prevails. So it's going to be pistols once more here for Turkey, and this means Argentina are facing what could be an easy conversion point to that 5-0 lead. But instead of going very quickly out here towards A, they just wait, see, of course, if the CTs decide to push, but it's only Xanteris over here towards the A site, and now he's repositioned down towards connectors. So this B site stack from Turkey is now going to culminate into a push towards Shortwater. They have a lot of presence here, while Argentina still remain in the extremities of the map.
That's actually the same thing they did on the last full save that they were on in the 3rd round. So trying to go for that collapse play again. Doesn't pan out for them as there was no extra aggression from Argentina. They learned their lesson the last time. So very slow strategy coming out from them. You can see the bomb outside of Monster towards terrorist spawn. You've got 2 players over in that area. They're going to go back and retrieve the bomb onto the back of Johnny Boy, likely, as he's the one in that area. But we will see Argentina take over subway control. Going to be looking to maybe go for a split onto one of these 2 bomb sites, and it's heavily fortified at B. You can actually see the number 4-man, Calyx, rotating down to join his comrades in that B bomb site, leaving just Xanteris at A. And not a lot of information gathered here for the CTs, if any at all.
That's the thing, right? They don't have all too much information, but Argentina don't have all too much map control. They've been lying in wait for so long now. There's only 40 seconds left, but you can see them picking up the pace quite quickly here. They're heading out towards long A, looking to, of course, set this site take, but there's 3 players for the defense nearby, including Xanteris on this Deagle, who we know, of course, can be ever so deadly. So he's going to be looking to take the peak. The C's already starting to push on forward. They walk right by him. Xanteris is going to spot 2. He finds those both frags. 210 able to trade, but that's an awful situation situation made at least a little bit better as Straka clears the flank, but it's a 1 versus 2. He's got the AK, 15 seconds, and the bomb down on the site. Turkey going to be able to split his attention as they have a player out towards long. He rounds the corner and finds the frag, 1 versus 1, and he has time to plant here. Paz, will he stop it? No, he's not able to close that distance, but he doesn't stick it. He needs to get the frag, and he's not going to get it in time. He comes off the plant, and that's going to be a round for Turkey.
Paz did get there in time to deny that if he was able to get the angle on that one, but unfortunately it does pull him off of the bomb. And with that being said, I mean, he did have time to get that kill. Paz just is able to find that headshot in time, and Turkey are going to be able to steal one away, an unlikely round. And when they did go and wheel and deal in towards that B-bomb site, this is one of the things that I actually don't particularly care for the Argentinian strategy, is that they run the clock down a lot on some of these strats. They didn't hit in towards that bomb site until the very last seconds. There was like 15 or 20 seconds into that left in that round when they pushed in. But nice opening here. Paz does double up, but it is going to be evenly traded 3-on-3 situation. Calyx in the pit. We saw how strong he was from this position the last time that they played this map.
Zantera is now rotating down, and as well the third Turkish player coming as well. So Argentina are going to be finding this bomb plant. At the very least they have that, but now with it down, there's 40 seconds for the retake. 3 versus 3. 2 players up towards heaven have the verticality of this position. They're going to be laying down this utility as well to just curb off the amount of angles and positions that Argentina can use to their advantage. Johnny Boy coming in from water now. Of course, they're always aware that there could be the flank, but it's Xanteras and Calyx to come up from water. They trade frag back. Calyx able to take it as Straka finds the first. It's a 2 versus 2, and Calyx is tagged. Dutan finds the frag. Despe, the last man standing here. He's got this AWP. He sees the flash from Johnny, dodges the nade, finds the shot, and now it's the 1v1. The Molotov going to be burning Johnny. He comes out wide. He grabs the frag, and Argentina with a 5th round and the reset. Johnny's got something to say.
And he stays alive at the end. The bomb doesn't actually blow up and take him off the map, so he's going to carry the AWP into the next round. That's going to be a reset now. Because of that round win that they had, it might actually be a buy down because they were saving and going into the next round for a full buy. So they might have enough on the CT side to actually form some form of a buy. And they do. They force into this round. They are going to have 2 5.7s, a Deagle, an UMP, and a AWP on Despe. So that's a pretty heavy investment for them. They're going to spend all of their money, but MBL just wrecks Calyx going into that A-bomb or B-bomb site.
I mean, Major now, he drops into the water, right? We've said that pit position can be so strong, but 2 Turks down in there now. 2-10 going to get rest, and Major takes the frag with a 5-7, but Straka now with the response as he finds the headshot off the AK. They have to be cautious, however, as Despe has rotated down here with that AWP, and they've yet to find themselves onto the site. Nice shot here by NBL, but Paz clearing up the dink. The bomb now dropped. He lines another. Tommy going to bring it back, but it's a 1 versus 2. Johnny on 100 health. If his teammate dies, it's going to be up to another 1v1 clutch. Now he catches the cross, and it's the exact situation we found ourselves in. Despe looking to disengage, and Johnny does the same, but the difference here is he has the bomb.
He does have the bomb, but the big thing is that the rotations are so fast on this map that Despe could find his way advantageously up into that A-bomb site as Johnny is rotating around, but he's continuing to push forward. He doesn't want to give up the real estate, and I think he heard the footsteps, so the rotation is going to be on, albeit slow from both players. The push hasn't come in from Johnny Boy just yet, but he is up in the site already, and they are going to have Despe coming around from CT, so you will be seeing the plant go down, and now we're at a cat and mouse game. Who is going to win this peak? Despe not going to get the timing. Johnny Boy falling away towards long, and he's going to go all the way around. Is he going to get caught, though? He comes around the corner, and no, Despe misses the timing again. So Johnny Boy finds himself in a very solid situation for this post plant coming around through bathrooms. He's going to be able to play the range game, and he knows that Despe has an AWP, and he's going to get the timing again. Despe misses the timing 3 times in a row, and there he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the Johnny Boy.
My God, the timing there, just as the player repeats. I mean, he knew, of course, when
I love how he
just
had a camera just static on his face.
How Johnny had to go for the peak because that bomb tap had been made. But then, of course, the moment the Turkish player unscopes, that's when Johnny comes out wide. Oh, the timing. I love this game. It's another round, though, for Argentina onto the board, and that force buy from Turkey doesn't pan out, but we have to give them credit. So incredibly close. No, this time they don't. It's only pistols, and very lightly at that. Not a single bit of utility here as Argentina use these double Mac 10s to try and build a bit of bank, and this is going to be nice because it allows them, of course, to find a bit of economic momentum heading forward.
Yeah, that was actually a flashback to the beginning of the last round. I thought that they had actually somehow forced an AWP again on Despe, but fortunately for the Argentinians, that's not going to be the case. They are going to have 2 Mac 10s into this round, so they're going for that money farm once again, trying to stack up the cheddar. And Argentina, I mean, 6-1 lead already 7 rounds in. It took 11 rounds on the board into the 12th before Turkey was able to strike, and it actually came on the back of a round similar to this one, but they were able to find that first round. So we'll see if they can replicate that once again, but Turkey on the back foot as they do have a 5-round deficit to contend with.
And the smoke grenade from 210 isn't going to be nice in the sense that Xanteres can't now see, so 210 is going to be able to afford himself some positioning, and he's going to get up close and personal. And if he dies, in the worst case scenario for Argentina, he is only, of course, dropping that SMG with the armor of Argentina. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. He spots the first, he grabs the frag, and Xanteres trying to frag back, but it is going to be Paz to chime in, excuse me. Excellently done. As
look at
Argentina
this.
still sit in the 4v4.
Push coming around to the A bomb site. It was a B stack again from the Turkish side, and they're going to be able to get in uninhibited towards this A bomb site, get that bomb plant. Molly is going to prevent the rotation from coming around and filter them right into that player with the MAC-10 in the backlines, and Tommy is going to shred both of them. And this is going to look very good for Turkey right now as they get a lot of SMG kills. The flank does come out, the dink goes down. Major finally, after a long extended battle, is able to capitalize on that from distance. And he doesn't actually take any damage from that. And he's going to be able to find, ooh, nice shot there. Takes down Johnny Boy, and he actually gets the AWP out of this. So Argentina might want to accelerate behind this and chase this one down. They don't want to let him get away with this rifle, especially to drop over to Despe, because we've seen what that man can do with that weapon. Very dangerous in the hands of the Turkish side, but a 7-1 scoreline, and again Argentina off and rolling early in this matchup. And I mean, this is an even stronger looking Argentinian side. Did they lose a player? I saw some reactions there. Did they lose a player at the very end? We'll find out here in a second.
Yeah, we have to wait to see.
Yeah,
Straka, I mean, that's a nice positioning from Straka, because as they find that A plant, that player from Bathrooms is trying to come into the A site and split so that those players who are coming up from Bathroom, from the lower halls would be able to synchronize their pushes. But Straka being so far in the back lines, they never see it coming, and that's an excellent frag for Argentina. Great positioning as Despe misses the first shot, blinded entirely. He'll have to reel backwards here. It's a lot of playground control so far from the Argentinian side. Johnny Boy back onto the AWP despite losing it in the previous round, so a bit of a reinvestment, unless of course they saved it back. We get to see.
They did save it. They did save the AWP on the CT side, and there were 4 reinvestments on the Argentinian side, so they did lose another player at the very end of that round. So big buy down from Argentina. They're going to expunge a lot of their bank account because some of these rounds have come down to a lot of rebuys going forward. You can see they're setting up for a set play on towards that A-bomb site. The smoke comes out. Johnny Boy not going to take the peek. The long flashbang as well. And Despe, is he going to try to get in front of the smoke? No. He's going to fall back and play in the corner. This is a cheeky spot. Oh, he's going to get the double out of it. Beautiful job just finagling his way around the outside of that smoke. And he just lands that one. Double town. It's going to put Turkey into a very solid position now as Xanteres is able to clean up Straka.
210's going to be trying to bring it back as he is still inside the bathrooms. His teammate Long does have possession of the bomb, or at least was about to, before Despe finds a 3rd frag in the round. The fact that he's able to exploit just the smallest little weakness of that nade, and with the collateral nonetheless, it's huge. Turkey looking to bounce back with the 2nd round, but again, 210's still standing, and Despe again.
And I told you, I mean, they grandfathered that AWP in from the last round. They were able to save that. Here's a look at that double again. That's the weapon that they carried over. Major was able to save for him. It drops it over, and it puts it into Despe's hands. He might not have actually had enough to invest into an AWP after that save round was over, but because they were able to carry that over, he just completely turns that round on its head, gets 4 picks out of it, one of them a collateral, which is demoralizing in its own sense. But Argentina are going to reinvest into this one, and this is going to be their last chance before they're going to have to save. So Argentina, this is a must-win round for them in this opening half. Otherwise, we're going to see Turkey with a potential 4-round scoreline.
That flashbang blinds the first 2. Now, luckily for Argentina, they are able to trade frags back, but Paz's Molotov takes down another. So Paz now looking to re-peek here. He has to be cautious. 3 players surrounding him. Playing this ramp does allow him to still have cover, and Calix within the pit is able to assist, but it is a man advantage to Turkey. And now with players rotating down, the defense is just going to be even more solid. Calix with 1 more frag. Tommy going to take 1 as well. So still trade frags back and forth, 1 and another before Calix drops the bomb.
Yeah, that frag on to Tommy, he was so low. 92 HP remains, and Straka hits a ripper there. Going to be able to take Calix down and make it at least a more manageable 1 versus 2. If he can isolate the 1v1s, that's going to be very beneficial for him. But Despe with that AWP on high, and neither of these 2 players have budged from this B bomb site as of yet, even though he is going to rotate back around towards terrorist spawn for the time being and just try to juke them for a little while, see if he can't force a rotate out in order to isolate those 1v1s. But for now, just going to play it cool. There's a boatload of time on the clock. 45 seconds left in the round, and neither of these CTs are moving because it looks like they want to play the buddy system and maybe go for that retake together if he does go up to the A-bomb site.
Bit of repositioning here from Paz. He's still on towards the site. They're taking an initiative off the flashbang, so Paz is going to beat him. He takes the 1 versus 1. This allows Straka to grab the frag. 25 seconds, though, as he falls back towards T-spawn. Does he really have time to do this?
I think what he's going to do is fake the death cam and then go down through the underpass side, but he's actually going back up towards Fountain. He should have time to get there. It's going to be very close, and look at how he's forced Despe's hand. Despe's actually pushed all the way out. He's so far out of position. This is going to be really tight getting to the bomb site. 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8. He's going to make it. He's going to make it. He made it. Barely. He put the Nikes on. He gets up there. The new Reeboks, whatever it was, he's going to be able to get there just in the nick of time. And because he gets the bomb plant down and Despe so far away, he's going to be able to get a forward position, a very advantageous 1 versus 1 spot. And now he knows the player is going to be coming up from the back lines. He's going to be over by Bank, and this is going to be very difficult for Despe to clutch out. He does have a smoke and a Molotov. He's going to drop out 1, drops out the second one towards the Bank side, and he's going to stick the bomb. Straka going to get there in time, though? 2 seconds, 1 second. The spin goes out, and Straka clutches a 1 versus 3 to carry Argentina's hopes and dreams into the next round, and it's a reset for the Turkish side.
They dodged what would have been a heartbreaking round there. And
absolutely.
For that run, all the way back from Monster, I highly doubt he actually
close this was.
So freaking close.
Oh my God.
Almost just under a second there. So tactical pause actually being called here.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean, we saw it at an 8-0 scoreline for Turkey when it was on Train earlier. Once you lose that handful of rounds, and this time around it's after they do get a round win, so it's a hard reset onto the Turkish side. So they're going to try to regroup, think things through about what they want to do into their next buy round, and see if they can't fortify their defenses, because right now the weakest link in their defense is what's happening over at that B bomb site with those aggressive monster pushes. The player playing at barrels is getting picked early, the player that's playing close slope is getting picked early, and that's leaving a lot of pressure on Calyx at the backside of that pit to come up with some big plays.
The fact that Straka is also aggressed in the previous round over towards Monster, I mean, I know Turkey tried to use the pop flash and a bit of teamwork to find the kill, but they put their player in a position where the frag itself is untradeable. So, questionable decision. I see the initiative, obviously, and they're trying to take the fight to deny Argentina any chance, but rather instead it loses them a man and ends up helping Argentina find an 8th, and as you mentioned, the reset.
I actually want to point something out here as well, is when Argentina was taking on Denmark earlier in the semifinals, the very last map that went 16-14 down to the wire, Straka had like 9 kills for a long duration of that. He was actually the bottom fragger for Argentina when they were on Cobblestone. In this series so far, he's been the top fragger. I'm pretty sure he was the top fragger when they played on Train and they lost 16-14, and he's 15-5-7. So not only is he getting a boatload of kills, he's also doing a crap load of damage to the players on the opposing team every single round. 5 assists in 10 rounds, that is a lot of damage because it registers it at 45, I believe. If you do 45 or more damage, you get that assist icon next to your name. So with that being said, I mean, he's doing a ton of damage into these rounds, and you can see how it's just collapsing Turkey. And that 3 versus 1, super demoralizing for the Turkish morale.
Removing the pause here, we've got armor on Paz, buys out at $3,000.
Yeah, this is an equalizing buy.
Yeah, exactly. Just going to be curbing the amount of money that they have left over, using the potential round loss bonus to their favor in the following round. But 5-7s across the board. We've got a Desert Eagle here on Despe. Kevlar on 2 players and pop flashes as well, so they might be trying to take some kind of a peek here, try to group their players together and take the initiative. Argentina looking to use the pace towards that B site, but they've left the bomb in spawn as well, so maybe just playing for control. It's going to be NBL to find one. Tommy chimes in with another, and very quickly here, Argentina already starting to topple the defense.
That Molotov was fantastic. I'll talk about it here in a second. As Xantares is able to pick up Tutin and salvage an AK into the rest of this round, but look at NBL's positioning. He's all the way back, lurking deep towards terrorist spawn, towards Fountain. And if Xantares tries to fall back from this one, he could get caught out and lose that AK-47. And you can see they're taking the bomb into B all by his lonesome. All of the other players are going to be on the hunt right now. And you can see Johnny Boy, he's got that SMG. He's going to be looking to money farm a little bit and salvage the AK for his comrade into the next round. But that Molotov, they actually threw that from terrorist spawn. It lands on short. And because those players have been going for that aggressive short water peak, before they even got to short water, there was 2 players that were already down sub 40 HP. I mean, that's so easy to handle in that situation.
Exactly, that's huge, and especially in a situation where those pistols can't actually close the distance. So, Xantares,
a little slow, but
yeah,
all right.
A little bit of a reaction time from MBL, but I mean, catching Xantares looking the other direction allows him to follow that up. 1 SMG carried forward on the side of Argentina, but they do keep 3 AKs as well, so that's exactly what they'll need. Very little reinvestment, and that's nice because they dodged the bullet. Maybe used, as you said, because of that utility and usage. So. Big investment, and it pans out perfectly.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome to see that. I mean, sometimes it's nice to have that follow cam on some of those nades just to see the direct impact that they have, but that was one that was really easy to tell, considering that as soon as they got to short water, there was a Molotov there, and there were 2 players that were incredibly low. This time around, they're going to take short water control again on the CT side. Calyx is going to be over by the squeaky door, trying to get an advantageous position, but Tommy coming out just wrecks their ideas, and tapping away is going to be Straka. He is incredibly low, but it's a 2-for-1 trade favoring the side of Argentina, and again, they start off with a hot hand into this one. Major trying to get a refrag to equalize things out, but unfortunately for him, Argentina is going to be able to fall back through the monster side and find their way back towards mid.
Now, generally speaking, these are the kinds of situations where Argentina are incredibly strong. They found themselves in an advantage with lots of time on the clock.
Yes.
They like to go for these early bits of pushes to try and find themselves with an opening frag so that they can do exactly this. Reel back, reposition, find a new direction, and then set the play up accordingly using the amount of time they have on the clock. But Despe's jump peek spots one player, and as he comes wide, he's going to drop NBL, so it's back into the 3 versus 3 with Straka being tagged incredibly low and Johnny also damaged. Major rotating back towards the B site, potentially was going to go for the flank, but instead will just reel backwards. And Despe, he's been doing a very good job of holding on here with this AWP.
Yeah, his up has been extremely strong. He's just jumping behind the APC for the time being, trying to get infill. And he's going to be able to spot Johnny, but he's not ready for the peek to come out. And that was a really nice bait and switch. Johnny peeking out, Shirley saw him back there, and it's going to say, all right, he's going to post on me in this situation, peek from long, and a nice little bit of teamwork there. Straka should lose his life on the exit here, and he will, but that's going to allow time for Argentina to get in positive post-plant positioning for the rest of their teammates. And Tootenhen, he's on the hot hand. He's got the 100 HP. Johnny Boy's going to be able to go out, try to do the damage, try to bait him out, and then Tootenhen is going to be able to go for the frag. They're body blocking here, but nobody's actually on the bomb, and nice peek there from Johnny Boy is going to net a lot of damage onto Xanteris.
You can see Major, he's still fascinated over with long, so they think there's a player in that direction, but instead now he's repositioned, so Johnny going to be able to take one more frag. Exactly, no kit. They had a Molotov, they used it to block off long. Major's going to be trying to escape with the AWP here, and he looks as though he will be successful in said endeavor. Johnny should die.
Yeah,
he will. But at the very least, they do find another round. It's 9-2 on the T side of overpass. Argentina bouncing back.
I think they lost the op at the end too. I'm pretty sure they lost the op right there at the very end because that player came around from short and peeked on Monster Pipe where Major was with the op. So we'll have to see what kind of an investment actually comes out from the CT side this time around. But if there's anybody who has an op, we'll have to look at the money coming down, and it doesn't look like it. Here's the replay at the very end of that round, and I'm pretty sure Tootenhen got it out of his hands, and he did. So nicely done from Argentina. No guns carried over, so no joy for Turkey, and they are on another pistol round. And you can see the economics of this game, the buy, lose, save situation with those expensive rifles on the Turkish side.
Again, Argentina now, they may have a read into the strat of Turkey, or at least their buy-up, because they're looking to take a very fast pace, this time out towards long A. Of course, they do still have Johnny Boy down towards the bottom of connector, so any fast flanks from Turkey up through there should be met with resistance. But now as he disengages, it's going to give the map control back towards Turkey. They're trying to close this out. The Molotov going to be preventing Xanteris from coming around that dumpster, but he spots players off the D, unable to find these shots though. And this is going to be Argentina finding the bomb plant. Great after plant positioning as well, but they do have to be cautious because Despe's still all the way in the back of the T-spawn, but Johnny doing the exact same thing to the CT side. Look right now, he's coming in from the back. He's going to start to walk it out, so he is unknown, and this should be great. He spawns 2 players, lines them up, looks to knock them down. Major going to be surviving for a little bit of a second, but Tommy with one more. It's just going to be Despe, and he's nowhere to be found.
Well, no, Tootenhen didn't actually spot his shoulder coming around from bathroom side, so he's going to be able to creep a little bit closer, but when he gets spotted, kind of goes down. A clean round from Argentina. They are up to an 11-2 scoreline, so again into this matchup, a tremendous lead from the Argentinian side, and again, you can see the poise, the focus, the determination into this one. They are down a map, and having a tremendous terrorist side on this map is definitely looking good for them, considering that sometimes their T sides have been a little bit lackluster. Their CT side seems to be their strongest feature, and carrying this big of a lead forward into their CT half is going to be nothing but beneficial.
I mean, we have to remember, of course, that Train was the map they had no business winning, and they nearly brought it to it. Here on Overpass, clearly asserting their dominance, or at least here for the first 14 rounds. But it's going to be a buy-up on the side of Turkey, so they should be competitive in this one. AKs across the board for Argentina. Johnny Boy not on that trusty op. Major going to be playing on the opposite side of Monster. When the players come out though, they check the corner. Straka finding one. There's still a lot of presence here from Turkey, and players also rotating down, but Tommy grabs the head of Calyx, and it's another frag to the favor of Argentina as there's only 3 players left standing.
All these nades too coming into the backlines, and Straka's going to use the smoke to his advantage and finds Paz. It's a clean bomb site. Double op setup here for the CTs. That's the change. But unfortunately, they're rendered useless because of these post-plant positions. They're going to have to fall back and save this one. So Argentina are going to go up to a 12 12-2 scoreline, and this boost from Johnny Boy, they're not going to be seeing this one coming. And if they start to fall back from this, he's going to hear these footsteps. He knows exactly where one of the players is going to be. The other one is already hightailed it to long A, and they're both going to try to stack up. Look at number 6 right now, Tootin. He's coming around the corner. If he gets a line of sight on these guys, he's going to be able to find it, and they're not going to be able to get the off out in time. Finally, they do. But the damage has been done. Xanterra's on 1 HP. Nice turnaround from Despe, though. And they're going to do their best to hold the Alamo here in the bathroom side. It doesn't look like they're going to get too much more contesting thus far. There's no nades left on the terrorist side from Argentin. Oh, bang. Oh, okay. Despe goes down, so they don't. Oh, they both lose it. So really nicely done. I didn't think they were going to get there in time, but again, the punishment from the Turkish side is just grueling for them. They can't get anything going on their CT half. Look at that crowd.
Yeah, excellent stuff.
Beautiful
Turkey
people.
On to Argentina, 10-point lead. And again, they move forward with another formidable purchase. 5 AKs, nades aplenty. They haven't been using these AWPs on the T side, and they haven't even needed them because these rifles have just been so on point. Argentina playing the frags, being aggressive, and really just not allowing Turkey to take any sort of momentum or control. It's excellent stuff being seen here from Argentina, but Turkey still continuously trying to bounce back. Xanterra's again grabbing an initiative, and this is an advantageous position for Turkey as they find themselves with the one body up.
Yeah, and that, I mean, like you said, I mean, he meets the aggression with aggression of his own. He pushes Subway. This is the first time that we've actually seen that pan out for the Turkish side, and they carry a man advantage. And look at this positioning from Despe. Catches out one, catches out a second one, and Turkey looking to at least pick up a third round before the second half starts. It's going to be Major around the corner. He's going to catch another one out. And there you go. Finally, a clean round, a decisive round for Turkey, but not after Argentina picks up 12 rounds of their own in a very strong and one-sided half. Going the way of Argentina. They're 4 rounds away from closing out this map and forcing a third map on Cobblestone, which we know they can play.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I mentioned it again. I'll mention it once. I'll mention it again. The fact that they didn't or weren't supposed to be competitive on train, and now they've brought the fire yet again. But we also have to remember that Turkey themselves can bounce on back. It was 11-0 at one point on the first map, and still Turkey were able to prevail. So Argentina with the tall order, and they know it. Turkey, 5 players heading out here towards that B site. They have 2 sets of utility, 3 sets of Kevlar, so they're looking to use this heavy nade play in order to overwhelm the B site. NBL, he's going to be playing Toxic. He's got Straka with his head down, so they don't see him, but it's a gush. Down goes the first. Straka going to be committing to this position. Tommy trying to pop heads on the cross, and now Straka is going to reveal himself. He's thumbs up. He misses these first shots, but Calix does finally die. The bomb planted, and they never react. The position pans out, and it's Major now in the 1 versus 3. He's tapping away to find 2 more, but almost he brings it. Tommy, however, able to clear it, and it's Argentina with a pistol, Argentina with the 13th round, and a very real potential to close this game.
The biggest part about this is we look at some of the wins that Argentina has had throughout this tournament, and I think that aside from their win over Tunisia on Dust 2, which was like a 16-2 win, this is their second most decisive lead that they've had in a match, which is completely ridiculous to think that it's coming at this late of a stage. These guys are super focused into this matchup, and I gotta say, man, they are bringing the noise on Overpass. 3 rounds for Turkey, 13 for Argentina, and they never got down on themselves after that really close loss on train. That's something that can kind of tilt some players sometimes. We see it happen. You know, you lose a close match, and in the next match, you're not even remotely competitive.
I mean, you'd think, but if that was the case, excellent stuff. Great map play here, but if they were going to be giving up and tilted from close games, then they would have already been eliminated from this tournament. They're trying it now a little bit too hard to get this boost. Johnny Boy's going to be on top of it. Finally, he gets this positioning, but they're never going to see this coming. He's already spotted one, but he doesn't capitalize with the frag. Now they have to know, of course, that there's 3 players over here on this position because that is a 3-man boost, and little do they realize it's not just 3, but potentially 4. 1 man rotating up with this defense, but Turkey definitely looking to take this site. All 5 players ready to strike.
He was on the struggle bus there for a little while trying to get up there. I think he just kept sliding off his head a little bit to the side, and I think that's what happened when he actually went to go shoot, was that he started to crab walk out, and he just gets slid off the top of his head. But deep back positions here from the CT side. They know exactly where they're hitting. Look at the commotion. Look at all the CTs that are just encroaching on this area. And Johnny Boy with the boost finds a second. Nice return frag from Calix and a nice shot from Xanterra's. This is a force buy from the T side. Keep that in mind. And they're going to have an AK and a UMP, not just an AK, but it is in the hands of Xanterra's. If you ever wanted somebody in a 1 versus X situation on your side, Xanterra's is probably the man that you want. But look at the HP values of everybody in the server. Everybody is right around 100 HP. And this crossfire from the CT side, they're just playing this out, waiting for the bomb plant, and they're going to go for the trade frag once it does go down.
And Argentina have been good in the previous half of disengaging from these situations and using the amount of time they had left over to their avail. Zantera is looking to do the exact same as he takes himself through short, background, through monster, into the site, but they've just been lying in wait, as you said, setting the crossfire and looking to play that double play. Zantera, he's going to be committing to this bomb plant, so now the CT is ready to take a position out. He's keeping his eye on towards heaven, but there's nobody there. Both players here by Graffiti. If they don't time this perfectly, he could have possibly got it, but it's Tommy with the frag, and the patience from Argentina pans out, despite Turkey being so successful usually with these force buys. And that one was close. It is going to be Argentina with another round.
They're starting to get a little bit more hyped over there in the Argentinian camp, and you can see a little bit of
deflation.
Yeah, to say the least. I mean, these were some nice frags coming out from Xanteris, able to kind of bring it back into their favor. But unfortunately, I mean, even if he does get that kill on the guy at Graffiti, he has no idea where that other guy is, considering that he was still hunkered down by the CT spawn side. He would have been able to maybe go for the double peek, but look at the scoreline right now. I mean, it's 14-3. You've got 3 players sub 10 frags on the Turkish side. You've got Straka with a massive performance. One time that you absolutely needed him to step up, he comes in huge with 22 kills in a 17-round map so far.
I mean, he's looking to grab some more frags here, and already the the nade has dropped by 60 points of health. Now Xanteris is able to take down Straka. He was going to be presented a very nice little bit of damage, but NBL rotating down. Tommy grabs one more frag, so we're into the 4 versus 4. Johnny Boy only on this P250, however, and still 2 players up towards bathrooms. It's going to be Argentina having to hold the line as they are outnumbered, are outgunned, but most certainly not outskilled. It's going to be Major to draw. Paz able to trade the frag. NBL taking damage here, and Despe clears it out, so it's a 2v3 now, and the bomb not yet down, but a nice little flank coming in for him, 210.
One of the things that I did want to point out too is that dunk nade that went on to Paz. He was one of the 2 players that had a lot of utility in his pocket going into this round. If he drops, they lose all of that. Despe does get the return frag on a Toonhin, and this should be a round for Turkey, but again, I mean, the money is probably looking pretty good from Argentina's side, considering that they were very fruitful in their opening couple of rounds, not losing a lot of players, so they should be able to rebuy and reinvest into this. You can see Johnny Boy only on the P250. You talked about it before, how when he wants to get that AWP, he hangs onto a P250. They were probably expecting a save or maybe a little bit less of a buy from Turkey, but they actually get that bomb plant the round before, and they're able to formulate an even bigger buy. And Johnny's going to go down. Calix is going to find it, and 4 rounds now on the board, and actually it will be a save from Argentina, but they've got a 10-round buffer to work with, so they're going to be able to save up here. It might actually be a double save as well, as Tootenham is only on 1450, so they might go for like a pistol armor buy into this round and then have a nice big buy into the round after this.
Now, luckily for Argentina, it's not like they're just sitting on 11 anymore. They are on 14. Yeah. So even if they win a round, Turkey are going to be having a chance here to kind of start culminating a bit of money. And so when Argentina win it, if worst case scenario they are reset in the following round, all they're going to have to do is reset accordingly, and then Turkey shouldn't be able to close the distance with all of that time, because the round loss bonus will come into full effect before, of course, Turkey get towards 14. It's a very real opportunity for Argentina to bounce back healthily, but as you mentioned, of course, a full save here. Xanteris going to be taking some damage, but he does grab a frag. Of course, all this just anti-eco. He's being actually swarmed out by Tommy now, who's coming on through the monster, so NBL able to grab the kill. It's a 4 versus 4 and an AK picked up.
Yeah, and they've actually got time to rotate back in towards this A bomb site and hunker down for the push that's inevitably coming here from the T side. Boy's going to be able to lay a dink out, but simultaneously he goes down as well as Tootenham, and that's going to be putting it into a 4 versus 2, but Tommy with the salvaged AK is able to do a little bit more damage into the round, and NBL coming around from the bank side might be able to do a little bit of damage also, as you see them both grouping up to go from the same avenue of attack, but that smoke comes out, and that's going to put a big spanner in the works. They boost up on top of it. They're peek out over the top. They are going to be able to find a little bit of damage on that player, long range, Major down to 26, but no kills coming out just yet. And at this point, they might want to start thinking about running away and holding on to this AK, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So a 14-5 scoreline moving forward into the 20th round. And Turkey, they're down, but they're not out. And this is a team, you know, they've been a big threat. They've only lost 1 map the entire duration of this 4-day span of LAN. And pretty nice stuff from them. Look out, though. Major coming around, finds it. But he will be able to salvage the AK regardless.
Yeah, exactly. So they lose 1. At least they do hang on. Oh, Despe, wow. With only a moment later, it's very real. He actually denies that save. So Argentina with a stroke of luck on their side as they do grandfather that AK forward. Still, Turkey going to be rebuying, of course, accordingly, as they did lose quite a few players in that one.
Yeah, that's the scary thing about it. And here's where that double save comes in. They're going to force up a little bit of pistol work. They're going to force up a little bit of body armor behind this to go along with that AK. So they can just play past the AK-47 this round. If that player dies, they should be able to pick it up off of his body. Yeah, he is actually at long A by himself, so if he loses that, he might not be able to pick it up. But This round has a lot of potential for Argentina, actually, with this big investment. You can see Johnny Boy's going to go forward. Kalix playing that one smart, plays far back. Straka now trying to work around the smoke, finds one, finds two, shuts it down. It's a 3v3, and they've still got armor on two out of the three players that are alive. Finally, Straka goes down, but that's going to allow time for the rotate. Look at the backstab coming in from MBL.
He does still have that AK-47. He's got his armor as well, so the aim punch not going to be an issue. Kalix, though, he's aware of this possibility, but he gives up just on time. At least in time to the favor of NBL. So NBL's teammate, 210, tagged currently, 19 points of health remaining. So he should be looking to grab the attention of the tease, but NBL capitalizes. He drops the first, looking to take down Major as well. He's tagged himself, 18 points of health, but crucially, the bomb has been dropped. Now, this is a nice little play because NBL grabs the second, and 210 now has time to come rotate and help his teammate. So they will have two players with their crosshairs trained down Monster where the bomb is lying in wait. Paz going to have to nail the timing here if he needs to reacquire this device, and he does peek wide. Both players here for CTs peeking it as well, but Paz has grabbed the bomb, and he gets back across. It's going to be a free bomb plant.
They will be able to push back down. They know that he's gotten back into the site now that that bomb gets planted. He's going to be looking to defend from the backside of the pole here. This is going to be tricky, to say the least. Send in the low player, try to do a little bit of work, and he gets caught looking the wrong way. Argentina steal a way around, and they find themselves on map point for map number 2. And again, an unlikely round, and it's the hero play from Straka. He drops two players pushing in towards that bomb site, and then the backstab comes out wholeheartedly off of that AK that they saved from the round before. So you can see the importance of that. Massive round from Argentina, and they are going to find themselves one round away from forcing Cobblestone, map number 3.
Oh, this is so exciting. Argentina. I mean, what a bounce back, obviously. You'd think
absolutely. It's the determination, the poise.
And to think that if they do pick this one up within this next round, because of course Turkey is limited currently as they do have two players still on pistols, well, it's a one-round decider away from Argentina potentially 2-0ing Turkey in the grand finals. That would have been incredible to watch, but if they want it, they'll have to bring it to map number 3. As you mentioned, Cobblestone potentially on the table, but Turkey's still capable. They are resilient, they are resistant. And they need 10 consecutive rounds. It's an incredibly tall order, but it's possible.
Yeah, they're pushing up very aggressively towards A, and they've already been spotted outside of bathrooms. Johnny's going to rattle off a shot, trying to connect. Not able to find it. There's the shot, though. Paz goes down. 4 frags left. Oh! What a shot from Johnny Boy! Going for a third. Not able to find it, but the smoke comes out on long A. That's going to give him a little bit of cushion from these players that are starting to encroach on his position, but it's Major to find one. The trade comes back out. It's a 2 versus 4. Make it a 1 versus 4. And Johnny goes big in the last round, and that is going to be Argentina picking up map number 2, and they're going to be forcing a third map. Sweet crowd in here cheering on every single frag, every single round. Argentina going to be starting off on the CT side, and again, you know the players, Johnny Boy, Straka, Tutenhen, Tommy, and NBL facing against the Turkish lineup. It's going to be Xantares, Despe, Kalix, Major, and Paz. And we are just patiently waiting for those opening picks to come out. Argentina poised over here towards this bomb site, and there it is, Straka. He was the heavy hitter in the last map. He's the heavy hitter to start this one off, and the trade's going favorably for Argentina. It's the long presence, and Straka from range trying to get that shot out.
Kalix is also spotting up here towards the balcony, laying down a bit of damage, but Turkey have successfully found themselves on the site until Johnny, he takes out the man from behind. So it's a 4 versus 2, and he's tapping away towards Paz as well. Will we see Argentina win another pistol round? The bomb goes down, and they do have a kit on Straka, who is now looking to lead the charges. Tommy finds the frag. Kalix is going to answer back once more. It's a 1v3, but he's overwhelmed, and Argentina have done it. They start yet again 3 for 3 on the front foot.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that that is the 4th pistol round that they've won out of this entire series, because they won the pistol, obviously, on Train to go up to that 11-0 scoreline. They won both of the pistols on Overpass, and they win this one here. And you can see how much of an impact that has moving forward. With the bomb plant, Turkey's going to go for the 3rd round buy, so they're not going to invest heavily into this round. Just some upgraded pistols. We talk about it all the time. You get the bomb plant, you go for the 3rd round buy. You don't get the bomb plant, typically you force buy head armor and some Tech 9s, some Deagles, something like that. Xantares, notably a very strong Desert Eagle player, as well as Despe. We've seen them all busted out at one point or another throughout this tournament, but we'll see them on kind of a lackluster buy, to say the least. Pistols on the board. They're just going to try to brute force their way in towards B, and this could be a bloodbath. The flashbang goes out, but it's going to be the MP7, and Straka is going to be there. It's a mowdown! Not a frag was had by Turkey, and it's going to be 5-11. alive for Argentina, and it was all SMG kills. Money, money.
Again, it's not only that first pistol round, but then the easy conversion. As you said, 5 players up and SMG frags onto it. Just a very nice hold there. Turkey obviously just trying to get that one out of the way, as you said, only with those P250s. So little investment, but they will, of course, buy up into the next. And it's going to be interesting to see if, since Argentina didn't lose any of those SMGs, they decide to upgrade or just keep those weapons. And they have decided to at least keep 2. It's going to be the MP9, the UMP, grandfathered forward. Johnny Boy getting a bit of an initiative here and looking to take the counter boost. But there's a Molotov down, so that's going to be the tease at bay. Xanterra's also, with his own cheeky boost, looking to counter exactly this. But they give up first. The second volley drops. That one's that of Johnny Boy's. He's now been spotted, so they have confirmation. He's sent reeling backwards. It's a good decision from him to fall back.
And he drops out a nice nade, too, that tags Despe down to 67 HP. So even though he does get tagged up a little bit by that AK from Xanterra's, he's able to put out a little bit of initial damage before he is forced off of that position, which is a nice little find. And now we're actually going to see, look at this play from the CT side. They're staying so mobile on this B bomb site. There's 4 players to defend, and they move that MP9 back out towards that window position outside of the drop room, and he's actually starting to cheat a little bit over towards that A bomb site to support his teammate MBL. And that last round was actually Tommy getting 4 frags with that MP7, which is why he upgrades to this M4, because he got $2,400 out of that last round. A big money farm from him, and he's going to put himself into a very positive position right now as he's looking for the push to come around from long. Subsequently, coming around the back lines from long A is going to be NBL, and Major punishes it. He's ready for it.
I mean, Turkey right now, they're poised and prepared to hit this B site, but with taking out that A flanker, it's very potential that they actually go back for the rotation. They're going to have to make that decision as there's 30 seconds left, so they could go drop to A, but the bomb's still out here towards the platform strike. Straka, he's going to be falling away. They think it's a connector push, or they're just playing for the retake, but either way, Tommy, he's going to be isolated within the site. 20 seconds left on the clock, and he goes down as Major and Paz simultaneously drop 2 more. It's Argentina with only Johnny Boy left standing on that MP9. Turkey with a very solid round.
That was a really sweet execute. You saw how they bit on that fake. They started throwing those smokes in. They throw that smoke that goes towards the double doors there, and a lot of times that's to at least provoke the CTs to stay on that B bomb site for a split through to the A bomb site from that mid window and from up towards the ramp in long A. This time around, they throw out that smoke and they actually just hit right in towards the B bomb site after throwing out some nades towards A. So nicely done from Turkey. They're going to find their first round on the board, and it comes early in this matchup. It's no 3-0 for Argentina this time around. And Johnny is actually getting hunted here. He might get caught. He turns around, hears him jumping, but Paz, 4 HP left on him, 5 alive for Turkey, and they're going to be able to find that opening round.
You can see the cash flow right now for Argentina quite low.
Yeah.
That hurts, of course, because they didn't upgrade everybody, but they did spend cash. So they put themselves in this very weird predicament where they are only able to buy up into pistol zones again. So it's double CZ. They've got the deagle, bits of utility to try to play this. Obviously, they're going to be trying to use that grenade probably to stop an initial push to see if Turkey picks up the pace as they did in round number 2. They've got AKs across it, nades aplenty. 4 players here for Argentina heading towards the B site, but pop flash from Paz means they are going to rush it or at least look to engage. The flashbang connects, and that's going to be Johnny with it. One dig. Despe to bring it back with a headshot of his own. Does equalize this into the 4v4. Equilibrium has been found.
Yeah, but Tommy might get caught out a little bit here. Xanterra's, luckily for them, actually gets caught by that flashbang, and Tommy's going to be able to find himself in this little nook here. Just barely able to avoid the fire. He does get spotted, and he's going to have to go for a one-banger, and he's not going to be able to hit it off the back foot. He's looking for it, does manage to find it, looking for a second one, not going to get it. Tootin is over there by the broken wall trying to spam up with that CZ75, and we know how strong they can be. He was the big player the last time when they played against Denmark on this map. See if he can do the same thing, replicate that performance. And look at this, they're roasting in their own fire because this flashbang comes back out. It's a 3-on-3. They're trying to brute force their way into the site. Coming from the backlines, Kalix finally able to push forward, but they've got Straka blinded by Boulder. They don't realize that he's going to get the trade, and time is starting to run down. 49 seconds left on the clock, and a player over in the drop room.
Now, as opposed to coming in from the platform flank, it's actually NBL to drop into drop down. This is going to allow him to grab that weapon next to the tree, if of course he's allowed out. There's positioning here from Despe over towards platform, but Major now takes a shot. He too's tagged, and it's going to be Despe to clear up one. Straka's going to have to come back with the 1v2 clutch. Already 1 frag in the round. Major spotted, however. He knows he's there. He sees the head of Despe, tries to rip it off, but he won't find the connection. Straka has to be cautious here as they can just overwhelm him, and they do. But considering the buy from Argentina, that's still an excellent round for the defense.
Yeah, that was a massive round, forcing 3 rebuys. You can see the money isn't in a great place for the Turkish side, and we will have a buyout from Argentina. 4 kills on that last round from Despe as well. And if he catches fire, it's going to be very, very difficult for Argentina, especially if he gets that AWP working wholeheartedly. Johnny Boy going to be on the op end of this round. He's going to have no armor behind this one, no nades either, but that's okay because we know how much damage he can inflict with that rifle. So Aggressive peeks out from the terrorist side coming towards long A, and if they creep any closer, Major might be a sitting duck here, but Jiggle peeking the corner, spots it out. NBL's going to drop the smoke. And actually, Johnny Boy going over to help out his teammate gives up mid control, so a little bit of an avenue of attack here from the Turkish squad.
Johnny Boy also in the glass cannon, so he has to make sure that he's not going to get pushed down because he is incredibly squishy at this moment. There's a minute 20 to play with. Turkey with 3 players over here towards A. Now, unfortunately for Argentina, they're going to be able to push out 2 at the same time. Major, though, he's blinded in that time. Johnny is blinded as well, so he does give up the angle, and he's not able to get the repeat. Calix with the advantage off the aim punch, able to find the frag in a second as well. NBL incapable of trading, but at least he does deal damage. Calix sitting on 4, Xantera is on 58. Again, Turkey just playing this slow. They have a minute on the clock. They can do anything they please.
Yeah, and the scary thing is that forces 2 rotations off of that B bomb site and actually pulls Tommy towards the window from drop room. So they've actually got an avenue of attack into the B bomb site, and this is where things get scary because B is very difficult to hold on this map against the rush from the terrorist side. We've seen it so many times, flashbangs and smokes bombing over the top of the wall, cordoning off the areas, and then you can isolate these CT side players, but they've started to rotate back. There's 2 players over here. Drop control has been yielded. Xanteris is over there, and he's going to have to hit this shot coming out. Tommy is going to go blow for blow, and he's actually going to lose the battle. Xanteris picks it up, and that's going to leave Tutenhen in a very compromising position. He tries to spot Calix very, very low. 1 HP for Xanteris, 4 HP for Calix, but Xanteris is going to be able to get the better of him.
I mean, despite the health there for the 2 players on the side of Turkey, they just have the positioning, and because obviously we see that CT just looking around all different directions, he's just overwhelmed, right? It's too difficult of a spot in a 1 versus 4. Straka was still alive, but nowhere to be found, so a round for Turkey as they extend their lead. It's going to be back to 3-2, favored of the offense.
It's going to be tricky. He's getting flanked out from the backside from the danger stairs, and he does manage to pull out the secondary in time, but Xanteris is there for the trade, so no op saves going forward. 3 kills on the round from Xanteris, 2 of them from 1 HP. And Turkey are going to find themselves a 3rd round into this series, so a decent start here after that 2nd round, or that 3rd round buy down from Turkey. They've gone 3 straight, and that's going to set back Argentina again. And we've talked about the strength of their CT sides. Struggling a little bit to start this one off. 2 gun rounds going by the wayside already.
I mean, it does suck for them, of course, that the first round they lose is when they're not necessarily firing at all cylinders and they still have those SMGs. And then, of course, now in this previous round with rifles once more, they lose it, but only by a smidgen. 2 players barely alive in that situation, and you can't help but wonder how would that have panned out differently had the engagements gone to the favor of Argentina. So do not rule them out. That's one thing we've learned, but it will be Xanteras with a double frag out here towards platform. It's just Argentina playing off pistols, a CZ-75 and a P250 still in their hands. No armor, no nades. They could find Xanteras as he is only sitting on 8 points of health, but it's the rest of Turkey now taking these engagement. Calix trying to close the distance, and as he pushes forward, the CTs start to rumble around. Paz drops 1, Calix clears 2, and it's Turkey doubling it up. It's 2-4.
Yeah, not only that, they're keeping players alive, and look at the money. Despe, $10,600, 5-2 on the scoreboard. A lot of the players all contributing. Calix, this was one of the things that was a big factor in Turkey's success early on, was this triple-headed threat. They had Despe with the AWP, and Calix and Xanteris were doing a brunt of the work for them throughout this series. Major calling the strategies for him, and Paz playing a support role. So really nice stuff, and it's good to see them firing on all cylinders. You see Despe with the AWP into this one. Johnny Boy's got one of his own, and this is going to be the whole hog. They're going whole ham into this one, see whether or not they can find these picks, and well, Despe is going to beat the up-and-up battle. So nice positioning from him. He gets that forward spot, and he's going to be able to punish for it, even with that flashbang coming around the corner.
I mean, Turkey, they've left bombs so far back that quite clearly they're not looking to execute, but instead just feel out the side of the defense. So for Despe to find that opening frag, it's absolutely huge, but NBL brings it back by a bit. Xantera is going to be trading that frag accordingly. It's a 3 versus 4 to the favor of Turkey, but Straka is potentially getting himself behind enemy lines, and meanwhile, they do still have a player over towards the site. That's 210. Xantera is dropping down. He'll be untraded in this situation as Straka falls back towards the site.
And we're in a 3-on-3, player over cannons in the A-bomb site, so if they go in there and they don't check that position, that's going to be a very solid spot for him to be in. And look at Tommy, he's just going to play in the back lines over towards the B-bomb site, so if they do rotate back around, he's going to be able to backstab these players as they push forward. Now they are going to take mid-control. Straka's going to go over towards the heaven side, jump out back APC, see if he can't get himself into sight before they push up mid-slope. And this is a very favorable position for Argentina to be in right now. They do check the angle, though, and Calix is going to hit him in the face. Tutenhen is down and out. Straka, he's left to defend this A-bomb site all by his lonesome. He's getting flanked out. He's getting pushed on. They're all over the place. And Calix, he's come to play on map number 3. He's going to be able to find the double into the round, and that's a big opening now for Turkey to take a 5-2 lead, unless Tommy can do something absolutely sensational into this round. I just don't think it's going to happen. The crossfire is very strong here from the Turkish side.
He would need nothing short of a miracle right now. Despe still between the cannons, and that's the man who's going to take the frag. Calix obviously tagging him up slightly before he finds the frag, but considering Argentina did go down into the 4 versus 5 in the very few first seconds of the round, it's nice to see them at least try to bring that one back competitively, but Calix just opens that A site wide. Finding the first frag onto the player by the cannons, that one is huge, because obviously that's the corner that really is looking for that first frag, and then Straka also taken out from the standard bomb plant. So unfortunately for Argentina, and fortunately for Turkey, it's pistols once more for the CT side.
I would have maybe liked to see Straka pull a little bit of a distraction, fire off a couple of shots from the M4 just to keep them looking over in that direction towards the back of the A bomb site, so that that cannon position could be a little bit more fruitful. But they do come up, they clear it, they find the frags, and Calix goes big into the round. And Despe might get presented with a kill here, as that is Tommy around the corner. The molly goes out. He's going to get out of dodge well before that. Down to 14 HP early in the round, so a nice bit of damage found here for the Argentinian side. The only problem is that they're on a very limited buy.
Yeah, and with Xanteras being so damaged, he's actually going to fall into the back lines. This is going to put Despe now into the point man, so he's the one looking to crack open the site, and he's just keeping his eyes trained on the hole here, the broken wall. 210 able to cross, and he does dink another player, so 2 players damaged yet again on the side of Turkey. Tommy with the Deeg, able to knock down 1. The flank from Argentina coming in, but there's still 3 players on the site. Tommy finds 1 more. 2 players still. As Tommy grabs another one, and it's down to just Calix here, 1 versus 3.
From Tommy!
Huge off the Deagle.
A round that they have absolutely no business winning. He hits 3 massive frags to open up that round for the CT side. Beautiful stuff, and he finishes it off with a 4K in style. We'll have to see what kind of buy comes out here from the terrorist side, but look at these shots. The trigger discipline takes down Despe. That was the most dangerous player in that position, because he did have that op trained on his location, but a second one, and then the third one under the low HP Xanteras takes him off the map. Beautiful stuff, and he finishes off the 4th. Johnny Boy, though, that was a position that he did against Denmark, and it looks like Turkey did a little bit of homework, that they actually push up, and they find that frag in the smoke. Nicely done from them. There's a gap on the side of this one, so if Tommy, well, he's going to jump out of that one, and rightfully so. If he sticks around too long, he might get punished in that position. But Turkey with an early man advantage.
I mean, on overpass, we had seen somebody exploiting one weakness in a grenade to grab the collateral, a momentum-shifting moment. So that would have hurt, but Xanteras is still able to find another kill. It's Argentina down by 2, 3 versus 5, and they're also down by 2 rounds. So fortunately for them, this one was important, but still Turkey playing this one slowly. NBL is going to be above the 9-man. That's going to be major. Tommy trying to hold the platform. There's so many players nearby, and the same can be said for Straka, as there goes NBL. He is caught, of course, on that flank. Argentina now trying to split the defense, but the offense just playing so incredibly slow.
Yeah, the scary thing is that Major's actually worked his way up towards that A bomb site without any resistance at all, so you can see how the bomb is rotating back. And now the second guess comes out. You saw how he just, as soon as Major goes down, he's like, put on the brakes, and he's going to go back and join his comrades over towards the B bomb site, where they are going to push into Tommy. So if he can have another heroic play here, unfortunately it's not the case, but if he could have held the line, then they might have been able to do some more damage into the round. But unfortunately it's just going to come down to Straka. He's probably going to get spammed up through the wall here, and somehow he skates away. 15 HP. Might have heard that player drop out a window coming around the side, and Straka's going to lose the battle. So a 6th round on the board for Turkey, and we're going to go back into another eco round here for Argentina. Maybe they can replicate the performance from the last time, but if I'm Turkey, I want no business over that B bomb site on this save round. I want to take the long distance ranged fights up that mid ramp.
Exactly. Split it out with a long A play as well. Just slowly, methodically work your way out towards the site, or if need be, just use that aggression to try and overwhelm Argentina. Of course, that no respect counter-strike that we always talk about, where you just overwhelm your opponent. Don't let them play their game. Do not let them employ strategy whatsoever, and just use your frag power to avail. But Despe once more over here towards the B platform. He's got the AWP train down. Xanteras catching 3 defenders with their pants down. Calix able to capitalize with another one as well. He's looking to take Straka, who's just sitting on the other side of the door here. Argentina, this eco just not working out.
Yeah, Tommy's still alive, and he's in a familiar position over here behind Statue, but unfortunately there's so many terrorists that are going to be pushing into his direction from this spot, and he might not be able to find anything out of here, and he will not. It's going to be NBL, the last man standing outside of the drop window, and unfortunately for himself, he's all by his lonesome. 4 more players on the Turkish side than he can handle right now, and he's going to take the peek out, get spotted, and they know exactly where he's going to be coming from. 5 members alive for Turkey, and if they can keep that up, and they will, that's going to pay dividends for their economy moving forward, because the last rifle round was very big as far as keeping them alive. And you can see 2 players up over $10,000, 2 players hovering close to $10,000, and that's just going to make Argentina have to work extra hard to even think about getting them on an eco round.
It's going to be hard, but what will make it easier is the fact that they do have some rifles. 3 M4s, double FAMAS, nades aplenty, and a kit on Johnny Boy. So if need be, the sights do fall, they can always play for the retake. But a minute 45, and Turkey always burning down the clock. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see them sit and wait. They've got 3 players over here towards platform. Flashbangs and utility being employed here by Argentina. Again, this time they're not going to be losing drop down straight out the gates, so Turkey instead just looking to play the picks.
Eventually, you know what's going to come from this. They've been playing all of these slow strategies. Eventually, Turkey is just going to go full rush, no nades, and just try to go for the surprise strategy.
Yeah.
They've done it before. We've seen it happen. And I'm expecting it to come out here in a couple of rounds once Argentina maybe figures out what they're doing on the T side, maybe gets an idea or a notion as to what they could possibly be doing. But these Molotovs are just going to go out here and Tutehin's going to roast. He's going to go down. Zanteris with the Molotov frag. Paz is going to be able to chime in onto Tommy, and this is not a good look here for the CT side. They might be able to sweep out and find another one, but Despe dispatches of Straka in a hasty fashion. And it's going to leave it on Johnny Boy and NBL, and they are not looking to get any part of this one, and there's the pause. So Argentina going to take a breather after this round is all said and done.
It's a really nice play by Turkey over towards the B platform. They actually just used, while that smoke grenade is there, they use their weapons to spray lots of stuff. They use their flashbangs, just try to clear out the angles. And once Argentina see that they've halted this, Paz finding one, Johnny in a position to maybe trade. But once they see that, of course, all that fire stops, they think that they're thinking above their teammates. Johnny, no way, they just walk right by him, so he's not even going to take the initiative here. He wants to ensure the save, and you can see 4 players trying to flank. He now down to 1. That's Paz out of the equation, and Johnny presented a second frag. He'll take that one too, so a silver lining here in round number 11.
And an AWP. He actually takes down Despe, so he finds himself an AWP into this situation. This is going to be interesting.
That's huge.
Argentina is going to be on a save regardless of this one, and they are going to be able to talk things over, but having that AWP could be the X factor into this next round. We talked about Despe when we were on Overpass earlier on, and we saw how he was able to find that 4K with that collateral in that one round because of the salvaged AWP that they had moving forward from the previous round. This time around, it's going to be Johnny. See if he can do anything with it because they're struggling a little bit. Tutehin, who was so strong on this map against Denmark, I think he dropped something 30-plus frags in that match. He's at 1 frag right now. Definitely struggling. NBL on 2 kills, so not that frags are the most important thing, but when you've got 2 players with a combined total of 3 kills that aren't really contributing too terribly much into the round, it's definitely kind of influences the fact that Turkey is up to that 8-3 scoreline.
Unfortunately for Argentina as well, I mean, the cash flow just not making it work for the other players, but what's tantalizing in this situation is that Johnny Boy still has that armor op. So, of course, he has before put his team on his back and single-handedly won rounds. Do they try to invest into this and hope that, of course, he goes off here and now? Or do they play, you know, the more passive, more defensive position and just save up, get that cash flow rolling? We're going to see as the unpause comes on through. But Turkey has been doing a very good job of playing these anti-ecos, and so we'll expect them to prevail. But here it is, another round of applause for Argentina. Everybody trying to pump them up as they are certainly on the back foot, but never count them out. If we've learned anything all weekend, it's exactly that, Mega Man.
Yeah, and actually I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Johnny Boy take that AWP maybe to chicken coops because they have been going so heavily towards that B bomb site round in and round out, and it looks like he's actually going to go towards the broken wall side of things or maybe get boosted. Okay, they're going to boost up. Fortunately for the Turkish side, they're already out. And this is, remember I told you they were going to go for a fast strategy one of these times to accelerate behind this. They're already out behind there. Straka does get the trade flag onto Paz, but the bomb is getting planted behind that smoke. And now Johnny trying to go for the flank with the AWPs, not able to line up that shot. Able to get the return frag though. And Tommy's going to be able to find one as well, so we've got a man advantage now here for the CTs. Coming in, rattling off shots with the P250. Unfortunately, Despe does pull out the Tech 9 and finds that frag. But Johnny Boy trying to relocate in this 1 versus 2. Surely they heard that.
One would assume Calix is on the other side. Despe just training on in. The flashbang doesn't blind him for long enough. He goes back for the smoke grenade, trying to buy himself an exit, but Johnny still 48 points of health. He's not able to get out. The time ticking ever so quickly here. Both players for Turkey still near the site, but Calix clears it out, and you can't help but wonder if Argentina had some more firepower in that round. Are they able to at least stop the halt for a little bit longer? Because that boost from Johnny Boy could have actually panned out incredibly well. We see him try to get into the platform and then get behind the side of Turkey. Had he been a little faster, had that Molotov not prevented him from waiting, then he very well could have nailed the timing perfectly. We saw, of course, Argentina do those sorts of plays versus Denmark in very crucial rounds, and that time it comes incredibly close, but it doesn't come to fruition.
The scariest part about this right now isn't that 9-free lead from Turkey. It's the fact that Turkey has got like 12,000 plus on 4 of the players on the server right now. We will see Johnny Boy go for the AWP again this time around, and it's going to be Tommy to open up. And this could be the response that we're looking for. Johnny Boy flick shot, takes down Despe, wins the up-and-up battle this time around. It's going to be looking for some more on the backside of Rectangle, but the bomb has been lost. It's been picked up now by Calyx, and Johnny getting aggressive behind the smoke, trying to find the shots. Not able to land it just yet. Major picks up the AWP, but Major is now down in the dirt. Johnny Boy coming up huge for his team. He will fall in the long run, but it's going to be 4 alive, and that is huge for Argentina in the grand scheme of things. They need to keep as many players alive in these rounds and do as much economic damage to Turkey as they possibly can, because look, even with the buy down, they've got 2 players that are up at around $10,000.
I mean, what's really tantalizing about the situation is it's not too uncommon to actually see teams only get maybe 6-7 rounds on that. In this half. It is a very real possibility. This game, again, never over. AWP in the hands of Despe, another one here for Johnny, and we've seen him start to pick up these op shots in the last couple of rounds. It's going to be very curious to see if he can do it once more, but currently we've got Argentina 2 players over towards that long A, 3 players over here towards B, 2 of which are dedicated towards the drop down. Johnny using the angles on the other side of the smoke here with the Molotov. Now that's going to start dealing some damage. He's only on 60, but he extinguishes it with his nade. This, of course, at a minute 15 is still letting us to the 5v5.
Yeah, the big thing is that he uses out all of his utility early in the round, so he's got no smokes, no flashes for the late take from Turkey, and we've seen them execute late onto that B bomb site. A couple of rounds they've gone for the accelerated strategy. Like I said, they switched up the pace, which is something that you like to see, a dynamic terrorist side half, and Despe is going to try to chime in with an off frag, and they're going to play a little cat and mouse. Which side of the box is he going to peek on? Well, that Molotov is going to force him.
Oh, but the flash
that was perfect. Yep.
Excellent bit of teamwork there. That's going to, of course, facilitate the exit from Johnny. He reels backwards into the back of Chicken Coop, so that's a great bit of positioning here on the B site. Now you see Turkey also transition away from B and head out towards that A site. 3 players for Turkey already down in towards the lower hall. Bomb going to be joining them shortly, but there's 2 players still controlling long. Straka to drop gives them a window of opportunity. They're going to be starting to push out from the ramp here. Zantera is looking to lead the charge as Major is nearby, but NBL unable to grab the kill. It's Major to just completely decimate this defense. Still, however, as 210 does rotate over, Tommy still behind enemy lines, but Zantera is being a thorn in their side. Tommy nails the timing. He spots out one, Paz able to bring it back, but Tommy also frags here. It's a 2 versus 3, and Johnny Boy's coming on over. Despe in between the 2 is also out. It's a 2 versus 2. All 4 players in this situation are tagged, but Calyx still has some flashbangs, and it's going to be very difficult. Another refrag. Johnny now to the 1 versus 1. We have seen him come up big, but Calyx prevails.
Big round there for Turkey as well. I mean, they're going to go up to their 10th round now. It's going to come into the last round of the half, and there's hardly any money to work with on the Argentinian side. So definite potential for an 11-4 scoreline going into the second half. I mean, it's going to be as big of a buy as they can possibly muster. You might see a Mag 7 over in the drop room. You might see a couple of FAMASs, some 5.7s on the board. And actually a UMP, a CZ, 2 M4s, and a Mag 7 comes out. So Johnny, maybe play close on Broken Wall, maybe play close on Drop Zone, just to try to thwart that early aggression that's coming out from the Turkish side. You can see the Molotov goes out. That's going to hold them back for the time being. And there's the boost once again. He's going to try to get up close and personal. He actually pushes through the Molotov. So a brazen play, but it's punished immediately.
I mean, that's
ballsy.
Very confident. Especially as he's been doing that play multiple times now. And we obviously saw Zantera's twice now try to counter boost to counter exactly that. So he is predicted and he is killed. It's going to leave Argentina without their leader. Still 4 players standing. NBL tagged down as he does still hold on to that CZ and tries to control the mid doors. But Major doing a very good job of at least keeping him at bay. The frag grenade also going to be rebounding back. That's going to drop him to 24, but he still finds himself the frag traded back by Paz. But it's a kill nonetheless.
And these rounds have just been straight up brawls so many times. Another dink goes out, but unfortunately the kill isn't behind it, and Despe does manage to find that. Now Paz going to be able to find that. Nice shot there on a Tommy. So an 11-4 halftime score. Turkey's going to take a 7-round lead going into the second half of this one. But, and this is a big but here, look at that T-side performance on overpass from Argentina. If they can replicate that, they can get back into this matchup, and we might have ourselves another extremely close finale.
It's going to be a very long road ahead of Argentina, but they have been traveling down long roads all weekend long.
Yes, they have.
They've made one last turn, and it's the final stretch.
It begins right here as the pistol round is about to be upon us. And if they can pick up this round, if Argentina, and this is a lot of ifs, if they can pick up this round and they can get themselves the anti-egos, they can bring this one to an 11-7 scoreline before a big buy from Turkey. And we will have to see that. The crowd's starting to get behind him. I'm behind him as well. I want to see another close matchup for our final map of the grand final. But Turkey is looking very strong on Cobblestone.
Argentina looking to take this one out towards B. They use those Molotovs to prevent any players from Not too close and personal, but still now as they drop down into drop, it's going to be a two-pronged assault. They're trying to push Paz off of the platform. Paz able to grab the headshot as the players flash. Straka with the refrag though, as Calyx chimes in with one of his own. It's a 3 versus 4 to the favor of the CTs. Again, they're still tapping away, but Tutan and Johnny combined for 2. It's Santares and Despe left standing here, and this is the chance for Argentina. They've got the player on towards the tree. Nice little cheeky boost as they find one more. It's Johnny leading the charge, and Despe has to come up big. 1 versus 3. He's got the USP, and they're going to be going back for the boost. He finds the headshot to the back of Plat, now 2 standing, and 1 incredibly tagged. He tries to find the whip, trying to find the shot. Both players overwhelmed, and Johnny comes in big.
Stepping up when he has to. Argentina, they've actually won both of the pistol rounds in this map. Remember, they've won 5 out of the 6 in this series alone. Their pistol work has been phenomenal against Turkey. The big thing is that only puts them on a 5th round. They need to execute these anti-ecos. They need to be able to pressure that lead that Turkey has, and they need to keep their money low. That's the biggest thing. You saw how the economical advantage that Turkey had throughout that entire duration of that half. Even if Argentina won 2 or 3 rounds in a row, they still had plenty of money on Turkey's side. They need that same situation for themselves if they want to close the gap. And they are going to be looking for it here as they do pick up a couple of SMGs, but Despe, he's got different ideas, and they're going to push on forward. Santares is there as well. This is going horribly wrong for Argentina. The refrags, though, Johnny Boy and Tommy are going to be able to chime in with 3 apiece, or 3 across the board, and it's going to put it into a 2 versus 2. The deagle shot from Calyx, though, he finds it, he burns. It's down to a 1 versus 1 now. Tommy against Paz, a deagle versus an AK.
Paz's positioning unknown, but Tommy can say the same. He does have possession of the bomb, and to his avail, there's still 1:15 on the clock, so he can look to re-engage, reposition. He has the smoke grenade if need be. Can obviously isolate off an angle with exactly that, but Paz still hasn't been given a chance to retrieve a weapon here. See just Tommy slowly but surely working his way around. Paz at this point is just going to lie in wait because eventually he just needs to react to whatever Tommy does.
And he's just going to be waiting out the bomb plant, and Paz starting to move a little bit here. He's going to go over towards the murder hole. Going to try to find his way up towards Heaven's side, and he's just waiting for that cross to come in. Spots nothing. Now he's going to start second-guessing things. Did he go back towards the B-bomb site? Is he going to be coming out drop window on my backside? What is he going to be doing? And Tommy just waiting this one out, running the clock down. There's the smoke out, and that's going to be the feed. That's going to allow Turkey's player, Paz, to know exactly where he's coming from. He's going to nail the timing on the cross. They both tag each other. 74 HP remains for Paz. He's got to get the bomb planted here. He's not actually going for it just yet. Still 20 seconds on the clock. A lot of time to play this, and Paz going down into the mid-slope. It's going to give him an advantageous position once that bomb does get planted. So just a little game of cat and mouse.
I mean, Tommy has to be incredibly close because that ledge does give Paz a lot of cover here. Tommy going to be tapping it once. Paz not looking to take the fight, but instead of getting this bomb in, he's just trying to take the duel. He will find the bomb at the very last second, but now it's up to Paz to close that distance. Tommy goes for the fight.
Man.
He lands the damage, but Paz with the headshot resets Argentina, and that one crushes their dreams.
Yeah, that is a very, very horrible loss for Argentina. Even just getting the round win out of that one would have been just fine because they would have had a vanilla bye from Turkey into the following round, but that round from Paz solidifies the fact that Turkey is going to get at least another anti-eco round out of this one from the Argentinian side before we see a buyout. And that's where things inherently get a little bit scary because that's going to allow them to get up to that 13-point score line before all's said and done. And I want to see this shot again. He just barely sees his head over the top, spots him jump up. Oh, what a flick. What a flick. Nicely done there from Paz in the 1 versus 1. I mean, the tensions were so high you could cut it with a knife.
Tommy trying to take the initiative on the fight, though. He does expose himself in that situation. I mean, you never expect, obviously, the Deagle to hit something like that, but it is because he's exposed that he goes down. 5 rounds for Argentina, 12 for Turkey, a 7-round deficit. That is huge. Despe, though, on the boost. He's denied. Straka takes the frag. The Santares, however, with his position, able to grab the double. So it's a 2-2 trade, and Tommy's still tagged. But, however, Turkey out of position. It's a very difficult site to get back into. Luckily for them, Paz already at the bottom of the balcony does buy them space, and Johnny Boy, however, now getting in behind them. If he can take down Calyx, who does have wind of his positioning, then this would bring it to the equalized state. But Calyx, how long does he commit to the flank here? The bomb's going to be able to rotate back, so now at this point, exactly, Johnny Boy is going to be able to hold this rotation back towards B. He drops the one, grabs the AK, and the bomb should be able to get to the B site.
Yeah, this is a great play from Argentina. They've infiltrated the back lines with that smoke push by Johnny, and now that's going to put a very compromising position for Turkey. They're both on that A bomb site, that bomb rotating all the way back around to B. They read this one really, really well. Once Johnny got in there, that's the in-game leader side of him. He's able to call that one out. He's able to say, all right, look, I've got control of connector. I heard all 3 of them go by. I spotted 2 of them. I know for a fact that they're all in that bomb site, and now we can go for that B bomb site, rotate back on around, and we can get the plant down at least. We could potentially win this round, and this positioning from Johnny is very, very strong.
He's looking to just get around this pillar. Still Johnny waiting. He's going to be spawning
Nicely
fast.
done.
That's the first. Now, Major, he's only got this Tech 9 because he bought into the Mag 7, but he has gotten himself out of the site. He taps the bomb once. Tommy peeks wide, and it's Argentina to bounce back despite Turkey's upset. This game, of course, still never over.
Yeah, down to the wire regardless of the 6-round difference, and a great play from Argentina. That was just, I mean, that's an on-the-fly call right there. That's an on-the-fly call, and that's just a really good adaptation from Argentina into that round. They do a fantastic job infiltrating into that B-bomb site. And look at the reset. It's going to be a force buy from Turkey. They're trying to replicate what they did the last time around. Calyx is going to be on the lone upgraded weapon. He's going to have that UMP to work with. One Desert Eagle, 2 Desert Eagles on the board. Xanteris and Paz going to pick that up, and we saw the damage that they were able to inflict with a purchase like this the last time around.
Now, unfortunately for Argentina, they have started to emphasize this B site. Of course, they do have 210 still keeping an eye on the flank, but if Argentina were to push in here, they're going to be meeting a lot of resistance. Xanteris with the deadly deagle tries to take a bit of an initiative towards platform. The flashbangs again trying to help him out, but instead it's still the 5v5. Nobody going down as of yet, but Argentina still trying to emphasize drop down. They've got the information down. In Turkey, they have nobody actually inside of the room, but rather they're just waiting for the players to come on out.
Yeah, it's still kind of a stalemate right now. Nobody taking any damage early on. Nobody giving up any information really early on. They hear some spamming coming out, but they haven't seen anybody. And there it is. Straka is going to be able to open things up. He does manage to infiltrate in towards drop room, and now they can go for that double-headed attack. And there you go. Xanteris trying to get cheeky on Broken Wall. Goes down. Oh, Paz with a nice shot there. Half blind, going to find MBL, but it's going all Argentina all day right now, and it's down to Despe trying to make something happen with this 5-7, and he will not make it happen. A big 4-frag round from Straka, and he was a little bit quiet at the beginning of this matchup, now up to 14 frags.
For them to find consecutive victories after being reset is so big. This game, incredibly close, incredibly exciting. As always, Argentina looking to continue forward with their buy. It's going to be Turkey again on pistols. They have a single P250, but that's it. Only a $300 buy here, Mega Man.
Yeah, I mean, they don't invest anything in here, just one P250, like you said. They only want to, I mean, they're going for the big buy into the next one. A nice dink does get laid out there, but unfortunately that's not going to be enough. And Paz playing around this smoke. They're going to start spamming him, and they will take him down. Nice awareness from Johnny Boy just to think that something might be up.
Now Tommy's going to be coming up from drop. He grabs one. Major able to bring back to the headshot of the USPS, and now Johnny dealing with the flank as well as Turkey attempt to box them in, but they have gotten that site, and it's in their control as the bomb goes down. So 4 versus 2. Now Major has picked himself up an AK-47. He also has a Molotov, and now Johnny interrupting that boost into drop down is going to send Turkey reeling back.
Yeah, and rightfully so. They want to hang on to this AK for the next round, so you can see him running on away. Despe with the USP is just going to hunt underneath the window, but Johnny, he's reading this right. He's going to be able to hear these footsteps, and Major going to walk on by. Does he get the backstab onto this one? Johnny creeping. They're going to miss the timing just a little bit on this one, but they do not want to allow him to carry that rifle into the next round, but they're guessing the wrong direction. And there you go. They actually find Despe underneath of the window from drop. And now Major all the way at the end of long A. Surely going to get away from this. All 4 of the players actually over here towards this bomb site. They've cleared everything out, so if they continue to push, they might be able to find him, and they're going to come around the corner, and Johnny Boy going spam duel, but he loses it. Just barely. Major is going to be able to finish him off at the end of the round, but it is an 8th round now for Argentina. We're within 4.
Yeah, exactly. Slowly but surely, they're creeping their way back into this one. Major going to be dropping that weapon, so it will be 5 full rifles here to the side of Turkey. Armor, nades, and kits to boot. And Argentina in the same boat, but they have the AWP on Johnny. And of course, if there's anybody here who can go big with the op, it's either him or Despe. But this time, Despe not be able to counter op. It's just going to be Johnny looking for picks here. 3 players for Argentina heading out towards long as Johnny keeps his eye down towards lower. Straka as well, going to be making a bit of presence towards that platform. Will keep this stack from Turkey drawn towards the site, and Despe rotating back from the bottom of mid as well. 4-to-1 site stacks here for Turkey, favoring that B site.
And this is what I told you early on. I mean, this is exactly what Turkey did to Argentina in the first half. They kept their money low. You can see the lack of utility that they have on the CT side. They've got 3 smokes left, 5 flashes, and 1 incendiary grenade. They actually throw out another flash there. So they have 2 kits, which is kind of beneficial for themselves if it does come down to the post-plant situation and they don't lose those 2 bodies throughout the course of this round. But look at how much utility they're still carrying here on the Argentinian side. They've got 2 Molotovs to work with, a couple of smokes. They've got HE grenades to soften them up as well. So we'll see. They're going to boost up Johnny, see if he can spot anything onto the back plat at the B-bomb site, but unfortunately nobody's going to be home over there. And look at this. They're actually playing relatively passive on the Turkish side. They've got 1 player at back coops. They've got 1 player playing close towards the drop room, and then they've also got a player in the connector side of things. So there's only 2 players dedicated to this B-bomb site for the time being.
And these positions currently held by Turkey are actually very much easy to rotate towards either of the sites as well. So they're just waiting for some sort of attack. 3 players clumped up into the center, 1 on each extremity, truly committed. And Despe's just been jump peeking this for quite some time now. He spots, of course, 210, does deploy some utility. You're going to see that pulls the attention over towards A, so it's 2 players towards B, where actually Argentina's starting to hit. Tommy able to get around the corner off of the flash. Calyx, though, drops the bomb carrier. He's looking for a second frag, but he's dropped. Tommy with the frag. Calyx still in the back lines, takes down 1. Johnny Boy also dead here, and damage dealt to Argentina. There's no time for the bomb plant. They have lost another round.
And another one due to a slow execute. I mean, they do eventually hit that bomb site. The distraction works out really, really well for them, but unfortunately, they're not going to be able to capitalize on that in the long run, and it actually comes down to Calyx playing from chicken coops. I told you, I mean, that's one of those positions. They had the Molotov still, so they could have flushed him out by throwing a couple of firebombs over in that area, but they chose not to because they wanted to save him for the post plant. Which I can't say is necessarily a bad decision, but when you have no information on where any of those players are playing in the backside of that B bomb site or anywhere in that B bomb site, you want to use your utility to the best of your ability in order to flush them out from those positions. And that is a very common spot for a player to hide on the CT side.
Oh, what do Argentina do in this situation? I mean, obviously 210 survives with the M4, so he's sitting on $6.7 thousand.
This is going to be a force.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, Turkey's so close to that finish line that Argentina needs to bounce back. They didn't have much wiggle room because of that atrocious CT side. Only 4. I mean, 5, 6, they have a bit more rounds to work with, but instead their hands are forced, and it's a decent purchase. The Galil really the limitation on Tommy and a bit of lack of utility, but other than that, it's decent, especially as Johnny, has that AWP. So he'll be looking to op duel with the Despe from the side of Turkey. This one should be great.
Yeah, the one main difficulty that they had the last round was Johnny wasn't able to be effective because that player, Calyx, coming out from the backside of Chicken Coops, pounced so quickly and was able to double frag very effectively from that spot. He wasn't able to whirl around and find a frag with that AWP, and by the time that they actually got onto the bomb site, because they lost the bomb at the he was the first person that died, was the bomb carrier, that the rotation actually came in from the A bomb site before Tutanen could successfully lurk it out. Now, he did find some decent damage, but unfortunately it wasn't going to be enough in the long run. If Despe peeks out here, he might lose his life. He is going to fall back from it, and rightfully so. Johnny Boy on the other side of that smoke at the top side of mid. They're just going to try to take over maybe a little bit of mid control here on the T side and let Straka try to lurk over towards B. You can see him using up a boatload of utility. Flashbang goes out. He's going to take a peek. Not going to spot anything, and there you go. One jumps out. And there's the scope down from Despe. He doesn't bite on the fake.
Immediately now you're going to be seeing Turkey rotating on over. Straka will be behind enemy lines, but there's 3 players already out here towards A. So if Argentina aren't too fast, we could very well just see the defense already be in position to hold this back. But there's a minute to play with, so if need be, they can always go back towards the opposing site. Straka's still looking to find an opening over here, but Calyx is trained in on this position. The duel goes to the favor of Turkey. Straka drops NBL to bring it back by at least 1 frag. Now, Major's still committed here towards the bottom, and Despe behind the wall of the APC. He drops 1 as Major does the same. It's just down to Tommy.
Yeah, and this is a really tough situation. Despe hitting a couple of really nice shots into the round. He's looking for a little bit more, trying to spam up the stables wall. Not able to find the final frag, but Major is coming around from the back line, so should be able to finish him off, and he will do just that. Turkey now, they are on 14 rounds, 2 rounds away from being crowned the champions of TWC 2016, and that is going to severely hurt the economy now for the Argentinian side. So they're not going to be able to formulate a massive buy into this one like they wanted.
Still.
They need you, crowd. Get behind them.
The chants continue. As do the hopes of Argentina, who are currently
definitely the fans' favorite.
2 P250s. Triple Glock here for the T side. And again, Argentina taking this one slow. This is something that they've been doing time and time again. How many times have we yet to see this very rapid B push off with no nades?
I don't think we've seen it yet into this match. We saw a couple of quick executes come out of them from the opening gambit on overpass, but this is just going to be a blender. They're getting slaughtered, and they all drop. They don't even get to smell the bomb site. They were so far out when they got blendered up. And that is going to put Turkey on 15. This is map, match, series, and championship point right here for Turkey. 7 rounds the difference. Argentina, they've had some solid comebacks in the past, but man, this one's going to be probably the hardest that they've had to go through so far. Last chance to dance, Connor.
That's all that's left. 5 AKs, plenty of nades. They have what they need to at least continue forward with just 1 more round, but Despe sitting on that AWP. M4s all around. This is it. Minute 35, still on the clock. Argentina already with some presence out here towards platform. Straka looking to find an angle. Calyx sitting behind the trophy. And NBL just flashbang, that's going to pocket it up. Straka spotted in this situation. You can see Galax trying to take away with these shots here, but he's not able to find the tap. And unfortunately for Turkey, this kill is still not grabbed. It's 5v5, continuing forward. Galax able to find it, and now it's Argentina with a man disadvantage.
Yeah, really tough spot for him to be in here. They've been playing from the back foot most of this map, and unfortunately they lose Straka, who's been doing a lot of work into these rounds. They're trying to make their way out through the drop room in the back plat and see if they can't get a crossfire going, but Calyx has been so dynamite the last couple of rounds, playing from the back fountain, playing from the back coops area, and again, he's going to find himself in chicken coop. They do not have any Molotovs to burn him out from that position, so he's going to be able to just sit and wait until they can do that, but Tommy is going to be able to answer back. Major going to hit the dirt, and we are going to come down to this 4 versus 4, but Calyx again, NBL though, answers the call. He's going to be able to find one more. The bomb is going to finally get planted over here at the B bomb site, and we will see if they can hold off the assault coming back in from the Turkish side. Spam through the smoke, not going to be able to connect. It's going to come down to this 4 versus 3 retake situation now from Turkey. The flank has been quelled. Tutanen is going to be able to find that. Johnny Boy going to be able to go down as well as NBL. It's down to a 2 versus 2 now. Surely not like this. Turkey coming back around, and Paz finds another one. It's all down to Tutanen. He's only got 39 HP. Can he stave them off for just a little while longer? He cannot. Turkey are going to walk away with the championship in a 2-1 fashion, and they are going to be your TWC 2016 champions.
Okay, first of all, tonight's champions are the Turkish team, so I think they deserve a big applause from